some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise in the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Good morning and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's go ahead and turn on the cameras. Oh man, I hope everyone is having a great morning, a great day, or a great night wherever you're located while watching this. I'm gonna light up my joint because I was about to light it up while the song was playing, but I was like, let me hold on until I start the show officially by lighting up my medicine, which is my joint. Oh, wake and bake, baby. Wake and bake. Oh, yes. Oh, it tastes so good, too. Anyhow, welcome to the show. I'm going to give you some reviews on a couple of movies. 2 movies that I saw yesterday. I saw Oppenheimer. That movie is very freaking long. Okay. 9 out of 10. It may put you to sleep. I was right about the sex scene because there is a sex scene in Oppenheimer. It could have gone without the sex scene. I don't even know why they put the sex scene in there. I don't. To me, it could have been a PG-13 movie if they just didn't put the sex scene in there, because I didn't see much of the point, like the importance of having that sex scene. Yeah, we'll talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Yeah, Salt and Pepper. Yeah, that goes back in the day. That's like they're more than like that's like way back in the 80s. Anyhow. Oppenheimer is a good movie if you are into drama, if you're into science, and you're into a slow paced movie that you need to really pay attention in some parts, but then yet again, it's like it's a slow paced drama movie, and the fact that it took 3 hours of my life. But they have really good actors in the movie, so my cats are driving me crazy. I let my cats in the room, and because it's Sunday, I wanted to make it peaceful for them. And there's a beautiful big window here, so one of the cats is sunbathing, but the other one, she's rubbing herself on my foot right now. They love rubbing on me. They love marking their territory, right? I'm part of your territory. My goodness. Um, my rating or I say Oppenheimer is a movie to watch, yes, but it is a dragging movie. It drags, and it is very slow pace, and it's very like you could get everything done. My cats are just driving me crazy now because they all want to go to the window, and she's crazy. She's just messing everything up. Tasha, because she has to have it her way. That's the thing with my cats. Like they're not hard of hearing or anything. They hear very well. Because when I say there's a C word that I use. When I say that C word, which is cookies, the secret word is cookies. When I say that word loud, they go running to the kitchen because they want their treat. I don't call it treats because I could say treats all I want, and my cat's not going to respond to it. They don't respond to treats. They don't know what treats are. You could say you want a treat, and they're going to look at you like you're crazy. But if you say that C word, oh man, you have meows and desperation of wanting treats. Anyhow, but Oppenheimer is it's a good movie. It's good, but it's just very fucking long. And the second movie that I saw, Barbie. I will never get my brain cells back from that movie. I lost brain cells from that movie. I highly suggest you not going to watch that movie. Please don't go watch that movie. It's horrible. It's not good at all. It tries to be funny and it's not funny. It's a waste of time and money. I would suggest slapping yourself in the face and then saving the $15 for the movie ticket. Because, it'd probably be a better effect than going to the movies to watch Barbie. I mean, no, don't do it. You'll be wasting your money, and not only about wasting your money, but you will be wasting your time. It's probably one of the worst movies I think of this year. And that's that, and there's there's a lot of people, going to see this movie, but it's not good. It's just not fucking good. It's just horrible. Very sexist, very manipulative, very like, it was just horrible. It was just from the beginning to the end. It's just was not good. I don't know. I don't know the purpose of why they made this movie. It's just why? That's what I ask myself. But let me put out the hey Dominic, how you doing? Good morning to you too. If you guys want to come on to the show and talk, it's up on you if you want. Shows speak your mind, so you can come on and speak your mind. I'll put the link out. Let me see here. I wasn't planning on watching Barbie. If anything, it seems extra corny to me. Corny? Get the corn and hit yourself with it. That's how bad it is. Like extra corny and extra stupid. And not only that, but I think I lost brain cells. I think I God Almighty. I'm happy that the Hollywood and everyone is on a strike because the stupidity in their movie making and storytelling has gone beyond. It's gone beyond. It's just they don't even deserve their jobs back. I would prefer no more movies ever again after Barbie. Fuck that. I'd rather jump off a bridge than watch Barbie. What? Like, yes, I'd rather jump off a bridge than watch that movie again. I just no. This is the type of movie that will give you nightmares. That's how bad it is. And I watched it to give my opinion on it, to give my review on it. I listen, if you're gonna go to the movies and you want to waste your money, go watch Sound of Freedom. That's of all the movies right now. I have not watched the new Mission Impossible, but I am going to watch it. I'm actually going to watch it today because I there's a way I watch it. So I don't watch it bootleg. I'm not going to go to the theaters and be donating all that money unless it's a really good movie. Then no, Hollywood could kiss my butt. Um, but what I was gonna say, Sound of Freedom. Man, that is 1,000 times better than Barbie. I'm saying 1,000 times better, 100 times better than Oppenheimer, and it's based on a true story. Oppenheimer is based on basically a true story, but the fact that the way they celebrated the atomic bomb and the way they were all happy, like it just really disgusted me because you get these weapons of mass destruction, right? And you're happy about it, and then you're going to be killing so many people and you just don't care about life. That's something that's just not sitting well with me. Let me go ahead and bring in Dominic to the show. Hey, Dominic, what's up?
Morning, Rick. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, actually.
Cool. Let me close my camera real quick. I got to fix my curtain because my cats, they're going crazy at the window.
They're loving you.
It's the morning crazies, I call it, because they jump up and down from the window. I'm like, if you're gonna go to the window, stay there. But no, they're outside the room. They're both laying down looking at me because they know I'm talking about them. So it's good, Dominic. What's on your mind?
Well, I like to want to stay on the theme of what you were talking about. Is it one of those movies, Rick, where an hour and a half movie you can actually fast forward it to make it a 5-minute movie?
Barbie?
Yeah.
I even watching the first 5 minutes, it's the way it starts is the same way you saw at the Super Bowl, the commercial Super Bowl. Like that's the beginning of the movie. It's the same way of the commercial, and then it breaks into. Man, it's just hard.
Are you trying to torch me by giving me the details? What I'm saying jokingly is you're on the remote and you have fast forward. You can actually do an hour and a half in 5 minutes, but you just quickly flip into it. Said that's monologue useless.
No,
that's useless.
You'd be better off slapping yourself and just skipping the movie. Don't do it.
Thank you for taking it for the team then.
Oh man, I did, and let me tell you, I almost cried because it was bad. It was bad. I just, out of all the movies I've seen, and I've seen pretty bad movies, there was this one part that just kept Hey Barbie, hey Barbie, hi Barbie, hey Barbie. Oh, how you doing, Barbie? Barbie. Oh, and they're all different Barbies, but they're calling Barbie everybody's Barbie. And then the other one, hey Ken, hi Ken, Ken, hey, how you doing, Ken? Oh, good day, Ken. I want to punch myself right now for watching it. I
like
swear to God, I want to punch myself.
Easy, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt.
I want to punch myself, but I saw Barbie first. The first one I saw Barbie. Then I saw Oppenheimer because Oppenheimer is 3 hours long. Oppenheimer really saved my insanity, but it is a very long movie and it drags. And the movie could have been 2 hours long, but they really want to put in a lot of emphasis on the atomic bomb and how it was created and so forth, and how they got these Nazis pretty much to make the atomic bomb. Americans are not smart enough to make a weapon. They had to use outside help to make a weapon.
Oh, they have shared that. The German nations are a little bit more advanced, like the Japanese nation, when it comes to certain technology. So yes, I can see that.
Yeah, because they had visitors that came to them.
Yes, you're talking about when during the Nazis' time, was it Alan Blavatsky was helping them, and then they were actually with Middle Earth kind of ideal. Yeah.
Yep. They did travel to Middle Earth. They did have visitors come to them and give them information. And the U.S. really wanted that information, and they would have done anything, and they did do everything to get that information and started a world war to get it and to get the scientists over to us here. Fucking crazy, man. I don't trust America anymore. After, I see everything and I can feel everything. And the more I feel and see, the more I distrust this country. Because it's just this country is based on hypocrisy and lies.
If I can share, Rick, the America right now that you're talking about is basically the Roman Empire.
Yes.
Okay. So, and they moved from Rome to Yorkshire, England, from there to New York. So that particular, call them race of people that formed the Roman Empire, basically gave information or technology, train of thoughts to the Germans about being the ultimate race. I think they erred there. They should have said, fuck it, we'll just be the only race, so the rest of us just can't bitch and complain anymore because we're not here anymore. So I know people talk about Middle Earth, and I think there is probably a Middle Earth. It's just how can we really prove it? But there's also other places. So there is a landmass supposedly called Germanica. No different. There was places called, and still is, Odin and Atlanta. So each nation comes from those places. So there's a good chance the German nation, Germanica, were able to break or penetrate all these different layers of what some people might call dimensions, so they can give certain people the ability. So like the Germans were, and then of course they just spread out throughout the world, all that paperclip stuff and all that. They were just replanting all the Germans throughout the world after they won the war. And I make it quite clear by saying that they did win the war. It's just the other nations had the privilege, and this is where they get the concept of false flag, to keep waving their flags. So when you're in America, or think about she's no longer with us, to a certain point, I'm fortunate, but she was who she was, the Queen of England. She, you know this, but other people might not. She's Germanic. The Rothschilds / the Barons, Germanic. The Zionists in America, they're Germanic. That's the nation that's ruling right now. Nothing bad or good about it. They're just ruling. Can they make it destructive for their own ends? Yes. It's like us. If all of a sudden another nation decides, well, we want to topple all the other nations, okay, it's advantageous for them, and for other people in other nations, it might serve them too. But for the rest of the people, the citizens, it's always the same old. We're going to get treaded on. And unless we unite, and that would be a lot of nations having to do that, it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
and the thing too is that without the German help, without those Nazis' help, a lot of things that we have today we wouldn't have it today because like
Mm-hmm.
electricity, like light,
Yep.
like these rockets that go to space supposedly. What is space? I still question it because we just really haven't gone to really space. We just hanging out and it's not even space. It's not space. And what is space? Um, but
Plasma.
a
Maybe
lot of
plasma.
they
Maybe.
just it's you know it's a matter up there and
Mm.
it's black matter, but it's not like what we think. It's
Mhm.
it's difficult to explain because humans cannot. They're talking about going to Mars so badly, right?
Mhm.
I highly doubt humans could survive going to Mars.
Mhm.
There's no way possible because their gravity is different from ours. Their atmosphere is blank.
And even that, we're
There.
guessing. Like you might know, but most people would be guessing if there's even such thing as gravity, let alone what we call flesh over there.
Hmm.
I can only speak for myself. I get it. For a lot of people, it's nice to speculate, but if you even knew, you would be a unicorn to the rest of us. You know what I mean? Like those other dimensions or whatever we want to call them are great
Hmm.
to entertain, and it's great to use your imagination. That's why they have all this stuff. But the double-edged sword is when another being or species introduces technology here,
Hmm.
it could affect us. So, for example, UFOs, unidentified flying objects, we'll just call it.
Hmm.
If it is what I think it is, we're doing right now drones. It's non-manned, so there's a good chance that other species that are advanced will say, "We'll give you our lesser technology." And then when people say, "Well, I saw somebody on it," I said, "They're probably non-manned because this is a very low energy. And if people value the concept of aging, they wouldn't come here
Hmm.
physically or whatever they are. They would come here with their technology.
Yep.
Like I'm fascinated even by a drone, the way it spins. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It defies what we call theoretical gravity.
Uh huh. Especially when it floats and it stays in position,
Hmm.
and it can stay in that position even as windy. It can stay in the position.
Yep.
Um, it's very fascinating. And now with the times, that's how we're fighting these wars that's going on right now with Ukraine and Russia. They're using drones.
Yep.
They're not really
Hmm.
like combat fighting. It's technology. They're using technology to fight. They use all these drones and they monitor everything through drones. Satellites are basically drones up in the atmosphere. Um,
I'll put it this way, Rick, if I can share this out there for a second.
mhm.
When they finally it came out into the light where TVs and TV and radio had double-sided frequencies. Everybody in those countries are walking around with a cell phone, unaware that actually it's monitoring things. Some people will say, yeah, but if I take out the battery, I said, you don't know what technology really is. That's a very low energy when they talk about things that are being recharged. So as they're walking around with their cell
Mhm.
phones, they're walkie talkies for whoever's actually able to
Yep,
man all of
yep,
that.
yep, yep. You're right. And let me tell you, if you take out the battery, it doesn't matter because it still listens.
Well, whoever they are. Again,
Mhm.
whoever, like I go with the concept, the moon is actually the biggest satellite we'll ever see. And you'll never see man-made satellites going across it because we're still doing air balloons.
And you have humans living on there
Okay.
that we don't know of, but um, like houses, like in neighborhoods. You don't have neighborhoods in the moon.
Yeah.
You don't have.
And if that's if it's material. Once again, when we look at the clouds, so myself and other people, where you can ask it
Mhm.
for one to appear and not appear, that's something different. It'll be like us being underwater and we're just seeing the light shining on the upper of the water and we see suds, what we call foam or whatever. We just don't know
Mhm.
it. One gentleman was sharing with me the other day. He says, the crop circles that we see, there's crop circles under the water because we don't realize we are in a concept called liquid.
Mhm.
And then what you just said the word because you at least posed it in what we think it is. we should entertain different ideals. But most people get caught up, narrow it down to two choices, then it has to be either or, opposed to how do we not know what we call space is what some people call plasma. Just another word to describe something that's undescribable kind of ideal. And what language would we use to describe it?
Exactly. What's the universal language?
Yeah, sound maybe for us, maybe.
It could be sound. It could be clicking sounds. It could be anything. It could be vibration.
Yep, I'm with you. Yep, right. Frequency, vibration. Again, this is where some conversation I enjoy. In a short period of time I've known you, you're open to possibilities. When people want answers, well, then they don't need to ask questions. Then live the whatever way they want. But possibility, that's why we watch movies and music. We like to be entertained. And in that entertainment, we can actually have one of those, aha moments.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do with that now? Kind of ideal.
Yeah, and the fact we don't even know what's like 97% of what the ocean could, like it's undiscovered. We don't know what's in the oceans. So it's like, how can we, like my friend Albie, right? He believes in the mermaids, right?
Could be.
And I don't deny him, because they could be out there. There's movies about it. Mm-hmm. Shit, they just did a live action one that was really bad. The actress is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, she is very beautiful, but just not a good. Don't need it. You know what I mean? And he believes in the mermaids, and there's been a lot of movies that have mermaids in it. Even the movie Mermaid with Tom Hanks and what's the other? I forgot her name. It's always been, and it's not only now times, but even back in the like early times, there were stories of these mermaids, and it's not a tale. It's a true story, and they're out there. It's just we don't know. We don't know what's down there. We're trying to find out what's down there. You know, but it's so deep. You can't really get there. You know, not even submarines. Like, look at what happened to this other submarine that went to see the Titanic and it imploded. You know, it's that powerful. Water is very strong. If it doesn't want you in its territory, it's gonna go. It's gonna crush you.
That's the Bermuda Triangle. That could just be a big portal.
It's beautiful. Yeah, that Bermuda Triangle always gives me goosebumps, because when I go visit my country of Puerto Rico, we have to cross through there, and I always freak out because I'm like, at least I'm only hitting a corner of it. We're not trying to go through the middle of it, because I know there's a portal there.
Yeah. And you can go to different parts of the world, what we call Earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you could go to other space and time. Yep. And there's been stories, even military stories, of a fighter jet, not jet, but fighter plane going from going through the Bermuda Triangle and not even coming back, and then ending up, I forgot, in Atlanta, Georgia, somewhere, in a swamp, and they don't recall how they got there. Yeah. And they said, "Oh, maybe it was swamp gas that went up to the atmosphere and got them, I don't know, like high or fucked up, and then the plane intact in the swamp, no trees down around it, but the plane's intact where it's at."
Once again, Rick, it's one of those things, unless we're going to entertain the idea that previous art renditions or artworks and walls were done by adults opposed to this kids, because think about, we live in an age where we get a lot of entertainment. So whether or not Superman, Batman, or just analogies of old mythical gods, or the Hindus used to do that. So a lot of those pictures, when you see the Egyptians, when they show pictures of animals on heads, I go with the concept that in different ages, there's different manipulation of the human race. So to have something have a fish tail and it's a human on top of it, or a dog head on a human body, those are either possible, it was actually done, or again, it's just people doing artwork. and they're using their imagination. But I would lean more towards that there's species that come here and they've manipulated the human race. And I've said this recently, where there's some people that are humans having a being experience, and then there's other people like maybe myself and maybe even you, Rick, are beings having a human experience. It's two different species that have been intermeshed together. The human is very animal-like, and that's all about feelings. And then, of course, there's the reptilian brain. That's more about fight or flight. And then there's the being part, where we can grasp this technology that comes to us. Some people are able even how to take it apart and restructure it. This is why when people do remote viewing, they're not trying to just do remote viewing so they can say, okay, can you go across the 7 dry pieces of land that they call Earth? They're doing remote viewing for other planes to see their technology, so then it can come over here, and then the people that have the ability here to construct it. This is why we have the stealth plane. This is why we have Wi-Fi. That's not human origin. Humans, no. The species called humans, we're too fundamentally like a dog, beautiful creature, one of the easier animals to domestify. That's why men like them so much. Cats, you have cats, I've had cats. No matter what we do to them, they're still showing us how to be wild when it's the human part. But we're not going to expect cats to actually build bombs or build a house and all that kind of stuff. What a cutie! What's that one's name? Boy or girl?
Her name is Tasha.
Love it.
Nala is the other one. Tasha is the mother of Nala. Nala is the baby. She's over there.
Awesome.
Now she's gonna get jealous because I picked her up, so she's gonna come over here and rub herself on me.
Throw some catnip on the ground. And you
they have. I actually bought yesterday. I got the new cat scratchers and I put catnip in it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already high. Just these cats they're funny. And the thing is that when I smoke my medicine, the little one, I think she has problems because she really likes the smell of marijuana.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's she really gets high and she loves it, and then she's chill. She's a chill cat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty cool, you know. I never had a pothead cat, but it's pretty. It's so peaceful here. The energy is so the frequency is so good here that I feel good. I feel, and the thing is that where I'm at right now, a guy died right there. The last person that was here died right there, and he was a pastor.
For him,
yeah. But he was not a good person.
Well, then maybe in the next reboot program, wherever it is, he could.
I know his story because people told me, and then not only that, but I knew him, and I felt the energy from him, and he had secrets.
Don't we all?
Like dark secrets.
Oh, okay. Past life dark secrets, or this life's
dark secrets.
Okay.
And he knows I know. So that's how I have him under control. It's like don't fuck with me, because in the beginning there was issues here where I was in the hospital and I had surgery and I had someone staying here, and my friend told me that the water from the back of the refrigerator somehow fell in the middle of the kitchen. And it freaked him out. And he knew there was like spirits and stuff, but he didn't know it was that strong, because it was a gallon of water and it was in the back of the refrigerator, and that was the cat's water. And it levitated over the cereal, because there's cereal in the front of the refrigerator, and bananas and medicine on the top. It went over all that and landed in the middle of my kitchen. When I found out and I came back, I did a whole cleansing of my apartment.
Well done.
And ever since I did that, it's been because where I live is it's a building too. So I have a lot of energy that comes from different apartments, and a lot of people died here. A lot of people.
Quick
I
question.
mean,
Do you open your doors with selenite
selenite.
around your doors?
I have something like that, and I have
Okay.
black salt that I put around,
Okay.
and I have other ways of protection.
Because
Me
when people
here.
walk, yeah, because when people walk into your place, or if you
Mhm.
have that selenite around the door, what ends up
Yeah, I
happening,
have it here.
whatever spirit's coming with them will have to stay on the other side of the door when that person walks through.
Got
So, you know, yeah. Well, I'm talking about the bigger ones, and you literally put them on around your doors, above or
yeah, I have
below.
a whole bunch. I have them
Okay,
all
sweet.
over the
Yeah,
place. I have them all over the place.
because you're doing psychic work, and
Yeah.
most
Oof.
psychics usually end up having their guides or their protectors are usually cats.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you have cats.
Oh,
And
I have it all. I trust me. I've been doing this for a long time now.
I only say that because you've shared with me in past that you get drained energetically. Sometimes when
Oh
happens
yeah.
when a psychic worker is working, they don't realize the people that they're trying to help. They brought in all kinds of
Mhm.
characters, and they're like a nuisance, like a fly around
Mhm.
you. And
Mhm.
for them, you could turn around and say, okay, yeah, you've done all the work, but when that person leaves,
Mhm.
we're just going to jump
Yeah.
back on them. So
Yeah. I have protections. I have my Palo Santo. I have my sage here. I always burn my bay leaves. I have a thing that I do
good for
before
you.
and after cleansing.
Well
I
done,
have
Eric.
my black salt here.
Yeah, because
So
because when they're around people such as yourself that are pretty strong, but if they find a weak spot, they'll leave whatever the
oh
host
yeah,
body and then jump and say, "Oh, let's play with Rick
I
for a
know.
while." You know,
I know.
I'm just saying for
Oh,
other people that
I
become
know.
psychics. Yeah,
Oh, I know. I know those energies. I already know. Like that's how I intercept the answers to a lot of the things that they tell me, and then I relay it. And this those are those they're around us. That energy is like the energy of wind. You can't see it, but it's there, and it's gonna push you if it needs to. And energy is always around. This is wireless power because there is enough energy for to if they have already harnessed it because I already see it, but they don't want to put it out because it's really going to impact the oil companies. So they're very hesitant and wanting to push that technology out, but they do have it because I see it. That you don't for like even your phones, you never need to charge it because it's always going to be charged because it picks up the energy from the atmosphere. And it's not solar. It's just it's a static energy that's pulsating that charges, and I feel it. And it's in the air. And that's the tinging sound that I think I'd be hearing all the time because I always hear this right back here, and I hear that buzzing sound. It's it's there. It's like having a old television on. That's what I hear. Like when back in the 80s or back in the 70s, you should know, Dominic. Remember the black and white televisions that you have it's the push buttons, and then you turn it on, and it's on silent, and you have the black and white like salt and pepper screen, and then that sound like that ding. That's what I hear. Remember, I had I had an accident. I had a ceiling collapse on me, and
you've had many things
fell
unfortunately with you, my friend. You're
fell
like
fell
you've been
fell on
bullied so
my
many
head.
times.
Yeah, and I was psychic before, but I had this accident that happened that I'm lucky again to be alive. Having a ceiling collapse on you and crushing your spine, crushing my neck, um, fucking pain. Let me tell you, pain, 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 pain. Holy shit! And the thing is that I was scared because I didn't know if I would end up being paralyzed from the injuries, right? I didn't know that because there was a possibility because my doctor was surprised that I was walking, and he's like, all right, we're gonna have the surgery and we're gonna repair the discs that's ruptured in your neck. And it was a 2-level fusion. And it was fucking crazy. It was crazy. The pain. Holy shit. I'm telling you, I've been through a lot of pain in my life, Dominic. A lot of pain that it's just enlightened me even more and more. It's like a lightning rod. It's a certain pain. Like, it's like getting shot. If someone got shot by a bullet, that they would know that sharp. Like, you don't know at the moment, but then after a little time, it hurts like a motherfucker. Like that. But it's very consistent. My neck injury was one of the worst injuries I've ever had in my life. More than dying and coming back, because that happened to me twice in my life. That they had to bring me back to life. But I already spoke on that. And that we just talked about that the last show, like 2 shows ago. But that pain in the neck and then the whole spine hurting and like having this weird just pain and energy, like super, you feel it all in your arms, your legs. It felt like kind of like getting electrocuted. That's how like my nervous system was going fucking crazy. Like, it wouldn't let me sleep at night. Even to this day, it doesn't let me sleep at night. I have to take medication to be able to put me to sleep at night. Because my nervous system is like a crackhead right now. Like, maybe like Hunter Biden. It's acting like Hunter Biden, like cracked out at night. And that's a little example. I mean, probably the worst example, but because the guy's a crackhead, I use him as an example because that's what we're dealing with now. But the energy is just my body. The nervous system is just, to this day, still a little haywire at times. Yeah, I kind of have it under control, but not really when it comes to like nighttime. It's nonstop. And I gotta take a muscle relaxer. I have to take a sleeping medication to calm my nerves down before going to sleep. Sucks. It really sucks. The pain is what sucks. It's just because right now I still go through pain, and it's in the neck. It's very fucking persistent, and it attacks the front, but the back, and then I just feel it going down my shoulders, and then I feel the signal from that pain, and it goes down to my lower back, and then my lower back's hurting. So it's painful. This is my sacrifice because I gotta fight that pain. Because it's very persistent. Don't go away. Even after having surgery, and I had a 2-level fusion surgery on my neck. A lot of metal, a lot of fucking metal. It's crazy the amount of metal in there. Oof. Like, not RoboCop type of shit. I mean, the kid, they joked with me. Yeah, you're like RoboCop. I'm like, nah, I'm more like the robot from fucking Terminator. It's not really, but I just got a lot of screws in there, and it's 6, and the funny 6, because there's 6 screws in there, and 2 plates, or two discs, and a big plate that goes from like below my jaw to like down here, all this here, like this area. So from here to here is metal. It's crazy. And then recovering from that and going to therapy, that shit was fucking hard. I did everything. I still go to therapy. I go, once or twice a year. I never really go in the summertime, but I may go just for a tune-up. So that's why it's kind of like an oil change. I'm kind of like the Tin Man, I guess, with the Wizard of Oz. They're gonna have to loosen me up again, and then be able to enjoy the second half of this year, because I did it during the springtime. I went to physical therapy. I did it for 2 months, and I really got loosened up for the summer. But now I feel like once we get through the summer, I'm gonna need another tune-up for the second half of this year. So that's why I think my body's requesting for attention. That's why I feel what it says to me. Like, you need to go do physical therapy. I was like, okay, fine. I'll call tomorrow. It's just my body's acting up. It's acting up pretty bad today. I don't know why. I took my medication, and I took it about how long I've been on this show? How long I've been here? 49 minutes. So I took this medicine about 52 minutes ago. I'm still waiting for it to because it's a slow release. It's funny that I have to depend on fucking pharmaceutical. I tried everything from meditating. I tried everything from like all different types of methods. My neck it's in control. It is. And I think that's what causes a lot of because I'm so charged, because my nervous system is so like I feel it in my fingertips. And I intercept messages because I feel like an antenna. I feel like I intercept messages as like phone calls, because there's so many. What I see in the air, you probably don't see it, but I see all these like energies all over, and they're dots and lines everywhere, and I just see them everywhere. and then I'm not fucking crazy or anything, but I see all these like movements. And it's just all this, everything that's in the air. There's a lot going on up there, and we don't see it, but it's just everywhere.
I don't know if that's clairvoyant or clairsentient. Some people have that ability.
Yeah, man.
I think in meditation, Rick, if you learn to shut something down, usually our judgments or whatever we want to call it, man-made structures, you can probably hear your body communicating, because you're using man-made devices, putting metal in your body, you're actually, to the body, it's a foreign substance. So they don't know what to do with that. And your mental brain could probably rationalize that. But the thing is, the physical body, it's kind of like an animal that doesn't know that it's being sick because it's lost a tooth. It might have reaction. That's why some animals just go in the corner and they're ready to die or make it pass. So for you, because it sounds like you're leaning more with your feminine, usually females have more pain receptors in them. So whatever's out there, and the more you knock on the doors, the more they're going to say, okay, you just got the lower fucking levels of these. Now wait till we throw more shit. Because helping other people are humans that are low energy. That's why you're there. But once you start meeting other people, that's what I say, keep your ego always in check of what you think you have accomplished or not, because you're just channeling stuff. If the entities want to come through you, they will. And whoever you think you are, but because you've been injured a lot, things are taking shots at you, but they're not the bigger boys. You're dealing with all the
I've been attacked. Listen, I've been attacked by a spirit before. But
they're usually lower, Rick. They're usually lower energy beings.
Yeah, they are.
You would have to be a Helen Blavatsky to a certain point, and even that, she was being guided, and she was willing to participate as a psychic. It's when a person says, "What I'm helping humanity," I said, "What the fuck for?"
Mhm.
You know, that's the human flesh. That's just your suit. That's like going to a thrift store and always changing your suit and oh, there's a rip in it. Okay. But say somebody likes a rip in their pants. You know, just keep that in mind because psychic work
Mhm.
is a pursuit, but people
Yeah.
sometimes forget you're just there to be of service. Don't ever think that
Mhm.
you're above things. And that's why I
Yep.
say the healing stuff that you have, crystals and all that, that's just to regenerate you. It's like a physician. Their job is to be a healer, but for who? For themselves. A doctor, they're supposed to be a teacher, but for who? For themselves. Once they actually learn a little bit how to maintain it, maybe the extra spillage of water, they can assist other people. But the question would be, why am I doing it for them? Shouldn't they be doing that for themselves? Our job is
Mhm.
just to assist, not enable the situation.
Mhm.
And it's a tough one because I get it. The ego always gets in the way, and then it becomes spiritual ego. Hey, look at me. I'm this, I'm that. The fuck, strip all that shit away. Dare not something comes along and take all that away from you. It'll find out in a short period of time. Are you attached to it? I'm not saying you are, Rick. And
Mhm.
I wouldn't want that on you to test that theory. It's only a theory at that point. So because you've shared that you've had a lot of ailments, there's fucking beings around you that might even look at you as
Oh yeah.
candy, you know. And as you're trying to help
Oh.
other people, you're only
Mhm.
helping other people that have lower beings that are attacking them.
Mhm.
And some of them actually even volunteer want it in there. Oh, I want to curse this person. Oh, okay. So you're giving out a gift. That person,
Mhm.
they don't want that gift. Guess who it comes back to?
Mhm.
It
The
comes back.
original.
And this is where people don't realize. I said, no, let
Mhm.
people be. Let them
Mhm.
literally be. Don't worry
Yeah.
about the human part because the human part, I get it. I'm using the vessel. It's like the ego. The ego is not a bad thing. It just needs to be directed in a way. Same with the human form. It's not a bad thing. If I'm 6'8", I could probably do different things that a person that's 5'3" can do. You know, that's not a good or bad thing. Unfortunately, for some people, when you're tall or you're short, you're going to be predisposed with certain physical limitations or ailments, and vice versa.
Mhm.
You know, but for you, you've had a lot of experience,
Shit,
and
I've been through so much, man. The paranormal, those motherfuckers. I, 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 I already have my battles with them. I've been to war with them. You know, ever since I was little. Ever
Mhm.
since I was little, I've always there's that realm always used to come at me, and it was just a battle always. I mean, I got physically attacked, you know, several times, and like it just happens. I had a video. I have a video where I have orbs that come at me and record it with my cats there around me, and I had these orbs that came out of the door into the bathroom where I was at. Shit, I could play it. I could find it on my channel and play it. You could see it, and you see the orbs. It's so freaking like some poltergeist type of movie orbs, you know, like pretty big orbs, and they're always around me. They're always, and then I just feel it's like it's a good thing. It's not bad. It's a good thing. It's a very it's at that time when they came at me like it was aggressive in that apartment because that apartment there was something weird about that apartment. I was never felt because I was put in that apartment because one of my where I was originally there was a flood in the building and I was on the first floor and a pipe ruptured on the fourth floor, a main pipe of water, and this is in the wintertime. It destroyed 16 apartments with all the with water. I was one of the 16, and they moved me to an apartment on the second floor, and it was a very small apartment. Put it this way, my bed was in my living room. I have video of it too. It's on YouTube. My earlier videos, like the beginning. It was a long time ago. Um, that apartment was very fucking weird, and I had gotten scratched in that apartment. I've had orbs coming at me aggressively. It's just I caught the orb on video and it's on my channel. I just gotta find it. I did 390 something videos.
Mhm.
I have to find it.
Well, some people, if they see the person when they're no longer here, that I think that science talk about that they just can't account for weight wise. That actually what essence is. We all are those things. That's the whole idea of catching an orb. You know, pets have orbs. You know, some people will see it in some sort of light. This is why when people say they've gone to the light, I said you're seeing the reflection. Now, to be in the presence of the bigger light, that's a different one. So
I'm looking for it. I'm gonna find it.
what, the bigger light?
I have the video.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about, yeah. Okay, I get it.
Here it
That's what they
is.
do.
I already found it. If when you go to my channel, if anybody in the future, I'll share my screen real quick. So which one is this one? Here it is. Once you come to my channel, My Minority Matter, I have this is my 394th video that I'm doing right now. 400. This is the chase for 400. Where when I do the 400 show, it's gonna be a special, and I'm gonna be on here for a very long time. It might be an 8-hour show. It might be a 10-hour show to celebrate reaching 400. But you go down, you scroll down. These are some monster truck videos that I went to, so I just put it on there. But all these videos, they're psychic videos. There's me and Doc talking. Me and Doc is like he's like my brother from another mother. Some relaxing park sounds of the water, relaxation. You know, enjoy the sounds of the water and nature and what's around here and where I live, because this is the area where I live. So
nice.
It's very nice. Food too, a little food review.
Do you do different kinds of foods, like you do fermenting foods or anything like that, or kombucha and all that stuff? Good for you.
Yeah, I do. When I eat, I like sushi. I like Indian food. I like Mediterranean food. I like Peruvian food. I like food. I'm a foodie, but you come down. You can see my right here. This is a quick update. This is the apartment I'm telling you about. This is my television here, but then my bed is like right here, and then the cat. I think there was like a cat. I think I had my cats at this time. But this is the video here, and it's 7 minutes. So but I try to get it to where I saw the orb come from this door from here. It comes out, it goes over my cat, because my cat's right here. This is Tasha. So she's laying in front of me because these my protectors.
Was she able to see it? Was she actually looking at it?
She was paying attention and at me. She wasn't looking at. She was like more like guarding me. She didn't really focus on that. I was like looking at it because I had her in front of me, and then I had Nala behind me. So I had both of my cats around me. So if I hit play,
it'll allow you to capture it.
Let me see if this is where it's at. I don't have the volume on, so because I am talking. I just want to see if this is where it's at. Yep, there was one there that came right here. I'll play it again. It's a few seconds back.
Were you able to?
If anyone wants to watch it on like without me stopping, you could go watch it, and you'll see for yourself. But you'll see one orb that comes racing down through right here. You saw it? I have to do it one more time. Oh, you see, I look back because I noticed it passed me. You saw it? It's really quick. Let me see if I can stop it. Oh, damn. It was right there. I always try to catch it. You see it?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at Rick. I guess the question would be for me would be, were you able to communicate with it? Because your picture on your site of the moon, there's the big orb. These people just don't
Yeah,
realize that's why, the moon, people can communicate with the moon, but most people just
yeah,
spend time seeing its reaction, how it affects
yeah. I
different.
took that picture, by the way.
Mhm.
My picture of hold on one second because I have to share. I'm
Please,
not sharing the screen. I'm saying you see it. I'm like, no, you're not seeing
as
it
long as
because
Rick, as long as you saw it, Rick, because then the
yeah.
question it'll be like if you said to me, Dominic, I met an alien. My first question, because that's the kind of person I am, the question is, did you ask? I'm not interested in what I see. That's
Oh,
just that's the
you're gonna
senses.
see it.
No, I
This is
get it.
nothing. That's nothing. There's one that's actually the one that comes out from the door.
Hmm.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna notice it.
Well, the cat's looking in that direction.
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
picking it up already. Cats will sense in the ether or unknown in this case. They'll pick it up, even if it's in your attic or if because regardless if you have a wooden roof or a concrete an apartment, they will pick it up. It's only
Yeah.
us with our senses are limited to see things beyond the concrete.
It's coming. There's just this one big one.
Mhm.
You're gonna notice it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna like, wow. And that's
Obviously,
like, there it is.
there it is. Yep, I saw it. Yep, I saw it now. Yep. Well, thank you. It sounds like you got wowed by it. It's enjoyable to see it, but my question would be, especially when you get visited by them quite a bit, are you able to communicate with it?
They always communicate with me. They're always
Okay.
there.
Good enough. Well, they're showing
They
you though. Yeah.
yeah, they're there. Like, look at that. I just stopped it, and look how big it is.
Mhm. Well, the size doesn't matter in that case, but I get it.
It's very noticeable. No, it's trying to make itself present because I'm recording, so it's like they're coming at me. They come at me, and then this one hesitated because I think it noticed something. It kind of went like at me and then backed off and then came back towards the bathroom. So that's why you saw like it did like a Z,
Mhm.
like it did like whoop whoop and then took off. Like that's where I stopped it. But I'm gonna slow this down because there's a way here on YouTube that I could really slow down the speed of the video. And now we're gonna see this in very slow mo. So I'm gonna bring it back a little bit by 1 second. Let me see if I can do it. 48, 51, 50. So there it is.
Mhm.
It's at the wall. I'm gonna hit play and you're gonna see it.
Sweet. Well, thanks for sharing that, Rick. I appreciate that. Or by the way, Orb's coming also, not to
Oh,
say.
actually, I did it too fast. I went the wrong way. I put the wrong setting. That's
Mhm.
supposed to be slow mo, not fast. I put it fast.
What kind of camera were you using? Like an iPhone or a Samsung with a
This
fast
one
back?
is my Galaxy S9 Plus.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So here's the speed. Okay, here we go. I got it. Now it's really slow. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then look where it is
all the time.
and gone.
Yeah. Well, you've probably seen like the double split experiment where they ever so lightly are tapping on when you observe things and you're in its presence, it will either shapeshift or move itself. So you were obviously observing it. You got a glimpse at it, which is great.
And you saw how it just stayed still there for a second,
Yeah.
like not even a second. It was like a millisecond. Like you see when it passes by, right? And then I put the camera down, look at it where it's at, and then it takes off.
Mm-hmm.
It stayed there. It observed, and then it moved to the left.
Yeah. As humans again become more adept and more technology comes back of old, we'll be able to see different types of orbs, different types of colors and all that. It'll be like when people realize, oh, what do you mean I can actually see the ether? Where other people, such as yourself or others, because I've been seeing it all the time, but it'll be introduced to the masses. Like before, there were the few that can actually do, communicating telepathic, what we call cell phone right now. But I get it. And thank you, Rick, for sharing that. And I hope other people, the ones that are always talking about woo woo or whatever, realize what's woo woo. Fucking a plane would be a woo woo to another species of old. They say, what is that? And of course, most people would say things like, we're going to record it that the gods came from the heavens. Yes, because there's other planes that they come from You know, different orbs. Think about what you just said, orbs. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, it's the Silver City, the moon, and then there's the Gold City, which is the sun. But those are both flashlights to us. Because
this only has 100. This is the funny thing. It only has 140 like views on it.
Well, again, Rick,
it's not taking off because I'm not really promoting it. I'm letting it sit there, so if they find it, they can look at it.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question, Rick, and I usually ask this to any human being I follow. Are you after quality or quantity?
Both sounds good, because this is really
that's greed now at that point. But what's your intent? Is your intent for the few? Are you here to be of service to the few?
No, I want people to realize that there's what I'm talking about when I do my readings and when I do that stuff. I relay messages because they come at me. And that's why I try to prove that they come at me. Messages always come at me.
Because
that's proof that's a message coming to me.
But Rick, because you're an orb yourself too. That's why when our ancestors are talking to us, what do you think? How do you think they're going to look like? For anything about religion and all that state, throw that out the fucking door. And the only way you can do that is you revolt it and say, listen, I'm going to question everything. You'll see how quickly that will change. So for you, only you would know. I'm just sharing this out loud. What's your intent? Are you there to be of service for quality or quantity? Because among that, there's also branches in there. Unfortunately, some people play this game. I'm going to sell sporting equipment. Okay, but what are you going to specialize in? Because there's already big corporations that are doing that. Trust me, there's psychics that are working for the big boys.
Yeah,
big boys. And for us, if they actually make it personal with somebody, one's in trouble. Most of us are under the radar because we're in somebody else's realm. You know, but I get it. Thank you for sharing. Well, even if you do know, my question would be after that. I said you have discernment of what you know.
Because I know the military would have came. They try to come after me. I already know that.
Well, but once again, the military are low energy people coming to you. It's when they say, okay, we're going to send the other people. Why? Because the military get punished if they actually don't do their job, whether they're aware of it or not. And their punishment doesn't come in a physical form. So for you caught something for prosperity for yourself, for you to learn. For other people, they can speculate whatever they want. Oh, it's a camera lens. It's just not. I said, regardless, if Rick values it, that's what's important.
Yeah, and it's wild. It is wild. It's wild. It's just because I see it, you know.
You get excited.
And I'm remembering it. I remember when it happened, and it was. To me, I was like, "Wow!" Like you can hear my voice when
you get excited. I'm getting the opportunity to share by hearing your excitement from it. For me, I'm the observer. I look at him and say, "Dime a dozen." Yeah. But that's just me. Now, other people could say, "Well, Dominic, well, why?" I said, "Well, the purpose is for the person that's sharing it with me." So for me, I would be asking you questions. So what did you get? Obviously, you're sharing openly. It's wild. It's neat. I want other people to see this. This goes back to telling people, how do you explain to somebody else if you've seen an alien? What questions would you give? Especially if you meet somebody that asks questions. I'm the kind of person that if I meet a different species, I'm not going to go, oh, wow, I'm going to ask a fucking shitload of questions. And if I ask a shitload of questions, they say, Dominic, but you're not going to understand. I said, the fact that you just said that, move along. Because to me, I'm inquiring about things. And that's just me, Rick. And it might sound harsh, but that's how I deal. Now, an entity could turn around and say, well, we're strong. Once again, what it has to do with me? I said, if you're that superior, don't play this game with me. You want to make me amuse, make me amuse. If you want me to make you amuse, then share. This is where I talk about being, for myself, being honest. You know, my honesty is I'm an inquirer. Of course, my signs play a role in all of that. I like to analyze things. I like to take things apart. For something like that, I wouldn't really analyze it. I would just say, oh, that's interesting and all that. Was I able to communicate with it? Because I can't have discernment if I can't communicate with it. You know, it's like somebody talking to me about the Bible. I said, I don't care who wrote the Bible. And I can't have discernment about a guy named Jesus, but I can have discernment of whatever was written down. I'm not concerned about why the person wrote it down. For you, you're sharing your excitement. You're seeing an orb. Probably you've seen many of them. You just probably never captured one with technology. You know, that might be a failing on their part.
This is a really good one. This was a really good orb.
Thank you.
Let me bring in Albie. Yo, Albie.
What's up?
Good morning.
We're orbiting it this morning. I love it.
We're orbiting. I think Albie remembers this. I think he was there too. Not there in the video, but when I showed it, it was it's crazy. It still amazes me every time I see it. I'm like, to catch it. It's my first orb that I caught too, but not my first in that video because there was many orbs flying at me. But this is a main orb. Like you can see it in the screen. Look how white. Look at the floor, and then look how white it is. You know, look at the shape of it.
You capture with a man-made device. Well done, Rick. That's well done for you. And your voice reveals it. You know?
Yeah, because it to me because I could tell people what I see and what I feel, but I can't prove it to them because it's like air. It's invisible. You don't see it.
And for some people, they have to.
I feel it.
Yeah,
I feel it. I know when they're around me. So when I did that video, I felt energy around me, and they were just really on me. And I took a video of it and produced this as proof that these orbs, they just keep pretty much coming at me, and they give me messages all the time, and I get exhausted at times.
Well, do you get exhausted because you're trying to explain to other people? It's like for me, I'm not going to explain air to people. I just give them an aha moment. They've never thought about that, and then once they realize that, okay, the fact that you're caught up in the material, I have to only play with your senses. So let's talk about the effects of air. You know, a person can write down the word. That's just another dumbed down version. That's me talking. That's not because other people are going to say that. So, okay, so do you see that leaf moving? I said, yes. What's moving it? Do you see that cloud moving? What's moving it? So for a lot of people, they can only grasp what they can see. Now, when somebody said, Dominic, I won't believe until I see it, I said, at that point, you're not believing anymore.
You can't see it, but I feel it.
Well, yeah, some people feel it, but even
you feel the heat. You feel when it's cool, when you feel the wind, when it blows. You feel it when it almost knocks your ass down. Like with me, I hate it when it's fucking windy here, because like I have problems with my balance because of my spine injury. So I'm for the rest of my life gonna have problems with my balance, and I walk with a cane. So the wind is my enemy because that mother he's strong. He pushes. He's a bully. I feel like it's doing like this to me. Like when I'm walking, like when I go walk in the park, I'm like, I regret it sometimes when I go like to my appointments and I have to, and it's windy. And this is like in the wintertime. Like this, even the summertime when it's windy, it's just, I feel like it's a bully. But I love it. I love the breeze. I love air. I love nature. You know, like when you saying you love nature, I go, oh, we're going to be good friends because I love nature. I love going to parks. I love going hiking, like going for walks and stuff. I'm actually gonna do a hiking video. And I think I might go in August. It's in New Hampshire. It's a park there that has waterfalls.
Sweet.
And has like this beautiful, like the whole place is beautiful. And I'm not going to say too much about it, but stay tuned.
Rick, I got a question to ask you because you're a psychic. Do you do barefoot when you do those hikes?
Oh, I'm always barefooted.
Okay. Do you also forge? Do you like a forging there, like mushrooms and all that kind of stuff? Do you forge stuff?
Not really foraging, but I would love to eat a magic mushroom, like one of those mushrooms, one of those psychedelic mushrooms, because I've never tried it before, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. But it's illegal here in my state. It's illegal in Massachusetts. In some areas in Massachusetts, some cities, and that it's legal there, but here in Connecticut, it's still illegal. And I can't consume it here. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have to do it in another state and then stay there, you know, for a day, like maybe rent a hotel for like 2 days and eat mushrooms, and then the next day just, you know, chill out and then go back home.
Well, I guess, Rick, because this is a public platform, those things you don't need to share, because I find it humans funny when they figure something's illegal or legal. I said that's the program. So
Yeah.
to do things like mushrooms and all that, that actually aids the mental mind. Now,
Yeah.
when you're forging not for you, you're forging for the vessel, because your body's been taking a beating for a while there. But they're doing that because they want you to get caught up that you're the body. You're not getting hurt. You've never been hurt. You've never been hurt. Who you are.
You think with all this spraying that they do that they're trying to manipulate what's on the ground too?
What, chemtrail?
Well, yeah, because they're always spraying.
They're transforming this plane. That's all. They're just
transforming. Yeah, here every day, like, and it's like it's crazy.
But the thing is, Rick, there's another species. It's their turn to rule. They're just transforming this realm. This realm doesn't belong to any particular species. Humans were just put here to be workers.
So you think that they're just trying to get rid of like the human race and then be able to bring in their race?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Me and you work for an
airline. When you talk about this realm, I agree to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we can use many words for it, but yes, the realm. So, sorry a second, Albie, where we have, me and you work for a company. We're setting up all the logistics, all the computer programs. Eventually, we're going to be extinct. They might keep a couple of humans. So when the mechanical age came in there, it actually harmed initially for the people that were farmers, picking foods and all that kind of stuff. But eventually, after that, they figured, okay, so people got adapted to it. It's a lot of conditioning. So now you actually have something that can actually man the mechanical devices. The human race was always designed to be extinct because we're not human. We're beings. Being attached to the human form is a reminder, oh, fuck, Rick's still attached to the body. He thinks he's had all these injuries. Mm-hmm. That's like saying parasites affects you. It only affects you if you let it go rampant, and then it'll affect the mental plane. But most people never develop those emotions or the mental plane. So you being a psychic, you're just here to clean up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I have to, like when I do my readings and stuff, it's kind of like doing chores.
Yeah.
It's like putting shit in places and try to put things in order.
No, I still don't.
Pretty cool. I like it though. I like what I do. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. It's been a long time. And I like it. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. I feel the energy, and I like to share. And I don't charge a penny for my services. Deep. I do it all for free.
Mm-hmm. And then there's people out there, Rick, that actually we'll call them the elites. They have the same idea. They're likes. They like it, whether it's a chore, it's a responsibility, an ability. They just do what they do. It's when you become the observer of those things and say, who am I to interfere with those things?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question. I'm putting out a question. This is why when people do inquiries, then you go into a state of silence, then you go into meditation. Listen, okay, Dominic, Rick, stay the fuck out of this. Because now you're going to be struggling, and then the energy that you're being drained will reveal you. That's why I'd asked you, do you feel drained? You might be stepping over toes. Hence karma.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't feel drained. I have to take medication.
You said no. That's fine. Leave it at that. You don't have to defend it or attack it.
Yeah, no, because it always keeps me up. It's always there. Like I have to medicate myself to like chill out, because it's overwhelming.
So what are you medicating, and who are you medicating?
Well, I take my medicines at night to help me sleep and calm my nerves and my muscles.
But the question I'm asking, Rick, who are you medicating?
I'm medicating the body.
Okay, but who are you?
I'm Rick.
Okay, there you go. So it's kind of like the elephant being attached to the baby. You're attached to the name. This is why when people play birth certificate and all that, if you're not acknowledging those things are you're experiencing those things.
But no, it was put on me.
What's that?
It was put on me.
Well, it could be. It could be. Same with your surname. But if you're in a...
It was without our permission, though.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice, we all popped out,
If you're aware.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't aware of those choices. And like you were saying, I'll be permission. You know, that's why other people will say, well, entities, whether demons or angels, they've harmed me. I said, you just realized a long time ago you asked for certain things. That's why some of them there to challenge. Said, do you really want to go down this route? Why? Because this route is going to be dirty. It's not going to be clean. It's going to be dirty energy. It's not going to be harmony energy. And this is why a lot of people, they need to heal because they did shit they had no reasons or business, literal business. What was your purpose? You're here to serve humanity. How? You can serve humanity by stealing. That's a service to humanity. But most people lean towards, yeah, but I'm being kind. I said, those are moments in time if you're going to talk about time. But this is where, and this is what I'm saying, we should always be reflecting inwards, be the gatekeeper from within. So how does that serve me? How does it serve my kids? Because sometimes serving your kid is you just don't get in their way. The universe is the one that's already saying, listen, we're the ones that teach you how to breathe. You parents, you offspringers, fuck, you don't do fuck all. You know, and it takes a humbleness to realize that humans don't do fuck all. Moving things around in the realm called death, that's fuck all. It's the other realms that we actually come in from. And then we manifest ourselves in these physical forms for whatever reason. It could be a prison, it could be a learning thing, it could be whatever you want. But we have to entertain those ideals. Why? Because most people get caught up, oh, the answer's 2. I said, okay, I'll give you 1,000 different possibilities to get the answer 2. Why don't you stop fucking thinking of 2 so it can be different possibilities? That's why this realm has psychic workers. Not because it's needed, it's because everybody's fucking lost. Oh, I need somebody to fucking help me. For what?
I agree, man.
Yeah, but I get it, Rick. I appreciate that you've chosen to do that chance. It's like when entities, they flip a coin. Oh, fucking I lost. I gotta fucking play with humans. Oh, fuck, is it possible I can shoot myself? And I'm talking about the human part. I'm not talking about the being part. Even though it's the being part that does a lot of fucking around, because the animal part of us would just say, yeah, we're gonna move around, we're gonna be in the jungle, we don't even know where that we're wearing or not wearing fucking clothes. What the fuck is clothes? You know, but most people are like the biblical story, Adam and Eve. Fucking Adam was pointing fingers, so was Eve. At least the serpent had enough fucking balls not to bitch and complain about it. You know, suck it up, little boys and girls. Point to yourself if you want to complain. Oh, I don't like what the government's fucking doing. The government's doing shit that, whether or not, like most people, they're working for fucking or earning money or fame or prestige. I want to be an actor, actresses. Or I want to be an athlete. Nothing wrong with that. It's an amazing craft to be an athlete. But don't think for 1 second they're not just fucking printing the money just to give to you. Because it's cumbersome to have slaves and masters. Why? Because then you got to shelter them and feed them. And the masters and the slaves are the same puppets. Where's the hidden hand? Is it one hidden hand or is it a whole bunch of them? I get it, Rick. I'm not here to denounce you. That this is your life path, all the power to you. But yours is a little bleep in the bigger picture. There's rulers that rule over trees. Orbs you got to experience. And your excitement, well done. You're excited. For me, it's like, okay, that's nice. But I know enough to say, okay, respect Rick. That's his thing. But it's when you step over boundaries and you're trying to convince other people, show other people, fuck, that was for you. If it's meant for other people to see it, they'll see it. You didn't create the camera, so how the fuck would you have been able to explain that to other people? It's one of those things. Humans have to, they're stumbling little words. I gotta see it before I believe. I said, then you wouldn't be believing anymore. You'd be just fucking knowing. Well done. You went fucking kindergarten to fucking afternoon kindergarten. You know, human race is a pretty fucking dumbed down fucking species.
Yeah.
Now we could turn around and talk about, yeah, but they sing. I said, but they don't make the instruments. They just make them. But they don't really get it. Oh, well, they also create jets. They also fucking break dance. I said, yes, but what about the wars that they keep on doing? Now they can bitch and complain and say, oh, but there's all these other entities. You still have to take accountability for fucking putting a gun in your hand.
Yeah,
don't bitch and complain about Hitler. Don't bitch and complain about fucking Nazi. Take accountability. And then people have to understand, why am I doing all of that stuff? Nah, that's a philosophy question. Why would I want to harm another human being? Well, am I okay somebody harming me? Yes. Okay, then you're staying true to yourself. You know, like biblically, when people say, no, love thy neighbor. I said, if you realize you've never left that vessel, for most people, who's your neighbor? Your vessel, your friend. You got to steward it. Now, I'm a hypocrite at this point, guys, because I don't always take care of my vessel. But I'm still able to still talk about it. I'm not going to pretend that I'm fucking perfect. The earth itself is already completed, hence the word perfect. But it's us humans acting like aliens here, which we might be actually aliens here. It's like a bird.
No.
Has science really figured out how to create a bird? They know how to mimic it. Oh, we'll make a plane or whatever. But let's say they are able to do that. How is the masses going to understand that as we're hanging on to one of their technology that most of us wouldn't even know how to fucking make a board? Fucking
Yeah.
Anyway, I went on, Rick. I apologize. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, dude. It's Sunday. Preach.
No, preach. No, it's about revolution. People should be revolting within themselves. Have a conversation. Go in your car and fucking rip a hole in yourself. Just long enough to say, oh, okay, I've been doing nothing but pleasantries with myself. Oh, Dom, I just want to be positive. I said, how the fuck does a car work then if you're just positive all the time?
Exactly.
That's fucking woo-woo talk or fucking the awoke. That's the ego spiritual talk. You know, we need the sun and the moon and we need grounding. We need positive and negative and a thing called grounding for a thing that we call a car. There's grounding and positive and negative, and we call it a plane or a boat. That's energy. But humans got that information given to them. I don't even know if it's a gift. It could even be a curse at that point. You know,
and the Egyptians took a lot of advantage of it too.
Yes, because among them were people that can harness that stuff. Not all the Egyptians, the few. Same with them.
The few.
Yeah, same here. Me and you, Rick, we come back 100 years and say, how many people actually invented the car? A few. How many people made a car? A little bit more than a few. And how many people use the car? The rest.
Yeah.
You know, people don't realize we're spoiled little children bitching, complaining about other rulers. They're not understanding what they have to go through on a fucking regular basis. Because most people, when they listen to politicians, they think they're talking to them. No, you're insignificant in the equation. When it comes to your own personal life, yes, you're important. But when it comes to anybody outside of you, you should be insignificant. Get in the back of the bus. I shouldn't have to fucking write a sign. Get in the back of the bus. You know, and how many human beings were willing to do that? That's why I say.
I used to sit in the back of the bus. That's the funny part.
So and that's probably the best place to be the observer, by the way. You know that, Rick.
Yeah, yep. I was always the last on like I like the right side because the right side of the bus would be left-handed sitting, but that was a double seat. The right side was a single seat. I didn't like that one because I didn't want to sit alone. I always wanted someone to sit next to me, and I had a friend that always used to come and sit next to me. So like that was my safe. I was always safe there. And it was just, you know, that's what came to my mind when you were saying about the back of the bus. I was like, damn, I sat in the back of the bus.
Yeah, make room for somebody else. You know, I mean, this is how we consider and respect other people. But most people, you know, they're revealing their ego. Oh, I want to be number one. To what? I could talk to Muhammad Ali. I said, listen, Muhammad Ali, people think that you're the best. I said, but you didn't make you. You didn't make your opponent. You didn't make the fucking ring. You didn't make the people that watch you. So how important are you in the equation?
Exactly.
You know, this is why when people watch Game of Thrones and all that, the camera's always panned on one actor because that's the ego being fed. They're not seeing everything else around. I wonder how that poor creature in the background got fucking killed. How does it feel? How does that plant feels? You know, but
I never saw that series.
Well, they're typical of most series.
Yeah, I never seen it. Yeah, I never seen. I'm not big with like TV, with the TV shows. I guess, like I'll watch the movies. I'm alright with that, but to like people, because I remember my sister, right? She was really hooked on the TV and on these shows, and I felt like that was a waste of time. Like I used to go to the park, I used to go play basketball, or I play football, and I did a lot of sports, you know, when I was young, and even in high school, I played a lot of sports. And I was in a different frequency than putting my face in front of a television and spending hours upon hours watching a show or something. Like that wasn't my thing.
No, but we're just talking earlier about it. What do you think a projector looks like? It's a square box. We're in front of a laptop. It's a square box.
Yeah.
Everything very similar. It's like, for example, if you fast long enough, we'll say 30 or 40 days, you'll understand every fucking addictor on this planet. But most people think it's tick for tack. They think I have to be a drug addict to understand addiction or dependency. The body the mind is so addicted to the body needing to feed it all itself that it doesn't separate itself. I said, I don't need food. The body does. The body needs shelter. I'm not the body. Now, people can say, what about thoughts? You're not the thoughts. You're experiencing those things. To a point now, you can be the observer of those things. So, for example, TV serves a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for somebody else to say it doesn't serve a purpose for you, that's fine. But to think that it doesn't serve a purpose for anybody, that's a very pious position, because we all watch things from the four corners. What is it, an X? Is it a cross? So as the observer, I realize, divorce yourself from fucking humanity. Why? Because they were designed to fucking perish anyway. Now, a person might say, but I'm going to eventually die. I say, yeah, but have you ever experienced it? Now, you might have, but most people, what they experience is the absence of something within them. But what they do truly fear or are unaware of, things that they can tangibly understand, pain. That's one part of suffering. But what most people suffer with is the attachments to their comforts and pleasures. Dare not pull that away from people. Then you realize how quickly they'll fucking fight you. But most people never get into those situations. That's why people that come from war countries, they say, listen, you guys have been living a fucking privileged life. Now, then you get these morons, they talk about, but I have rights. I said, no, you don't. Whoever told you had rights? If your parents ever told you that and they're dead, let's fucking bury them up and unbury them and fucking slap them. Why? Because you have privileges in this realm. You go on somebody's plane, that's a privilege. You want to be on somebody else's bus, that's a privilege. I just happen to be of a light skin, so because of other people's conditioning, because by default I'm in this form, I have a privilege. Now somebody could turn around and say, but I'm dark skinned. I said, unfortunately that's the game it is. But let's talk about women. Do they have privileges? You know, did they earn it or did they have privileges? So
they try to take it away from them.
They could, but the thing is, the game has already been played. Nobody's supposed to have those things. It's like when people say, I can own land. I said, you don't ever own land.
No, you can never. Yeah, you're right, because you can't. When you pass, that land is going to go back to the government. If nobody else, if you don't have it with, if you're not passing it along to anybody.
The government doesn't own the land. Rick, I don't know where you're getting this from, Rick. The government's job is kind of like the Robin Hood. They're tax collectors. The governments are just there to be the middle of the middle.
Yeah.
What we have is landlords. So, for example, you have a title. Let's say you're a duke or a baron. You're a ruler. Now, the people that, when you go to major cities, you see all those high rises. Those guys there, Freemasons, most of them, they're allowed to build freely on it. They have a lodial title, so they can actually not have to pay taxes for the land that's they're on. Now, but the ones that understand, the demigods understand, the gods aren't here right now. So we're allowed to rule here clearly. The gods are not here. They do not deal with fucking human affairs. We're too simple for them. Now, the demigods, whatever you want to call them, Archangel Michael and all that kind of stuff, they know enough. We're here to rule. We're here to represent. We're here to steward all this stuff. The ones that have to deal with humans, fuck, poor people. The poor beings that have to deal with them. You know, because then you have to deal with, imagine if animals started to have to speak our language. Holy fuck, they would have a problem with us. They would say, okay, so understand it. You guys are dealing about slavery and mastery. Are you eating your own? Well, no. So then why the fuck are you eating us? And now you could turn around and say, but I need meat. I said, well, when do we have a say in all of that? That's the human race.
No.
Now people get caught up in the I'm a carnivore or I'm a vegetarian. I say, okay, but are you, as a carnivore, do you eat wild game or do you eat domestic fucking game? You eat an animal like a cow.
Like processed or natural?
Doesn't matter, because at that point, if you eat an animal, you pick up its energy, and a cow's energy is fucking. You see it just look on a farm. It's just a duty animal. It's like a bottom feeder of a fish tank.
My question is, which way is better, right? Which is natural?
Right? Natural. We've gone away from that. It's not natural for you to actually go to somebody else's grocery store.
No. What I mean is like fresh kill, like not having it processed, not having going through the butchers, not having it being manipulated, like you hunting it, taking it to your house, cleaning it, and then doing your own work to wherever animal you killed.
Later on.
Okay, Albie, thanks for coming by. But like, which way would be best? Or
people that are hunters, the ones that are intuitive, would realize it has to be a clean kill.
Yeah, and it has
part and partial because it's honoring the animal, but at the same time, they understand if you don't, the animal's going to go into some sort of reaction,
and it's going to release this chemical
through the blood or whatever, and that's the gift.
It's like us.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
know,
like, 'cause it's that I forgot the name of it. That it's like an adrenaline, but it's like it pretty much kills you. It's like an instant. It's a fluid that releases from your brain, and it just
Could be, yeah.
kills.
It could be that, and plus the blood. So, for example, if somebody say wanted to eat me, I said make sure I'm asleep. Why? Because if I'm not going to curse the person, but I'm going to say my body's going to have a reaction. That's why when animals, I know we use this terminology, free range, they were never free range. They just roam. And the person that were the farmers for those domestic animals would love them, care for them. They don't need to know that we're going to kill you later on. So they can actually energetically have a happy-go-lucky kind of ideal. This is kind of like children. We're very naive and blissful. We don't. Most kids that have to be introduced at a very young age, fucking traumas. You know, my parents are bitching and complaining. That's a type of molestation. And then there's other people that molest in other ways. Or, Dad, you're going to send me to a teacher that you never spend time to understand who they are. I said that's neglect. And most parents do that on a regular basis. And then they wonder why. I wonder why my kid's the way they is. I said because you're a child raising a child. You know, they're not that. Or a teacher will say, no, you're not a teacher. You're a parrot. Why? Because there's systems in there. There's no way you can actually teach 30 students the way you are. Because in the unknown realm, you're one student with thousands of different teachers, and they only come when you're ready. But most people don't even become a teacher. Become a student in 4 or 5 lifespan. I'm a student. I'm not an initiate. I'm not interested in fucking getting initiated. I did that a long time ago. You can finally join the club. But am I a student yet? No, Dom. In those days, why? Because I wasn't teachable. And today, a lot of people aren't teachable. I know. I said, that has nothing to do with fucking being a student. Well done. The bus just brought you to kindergarten. You know what I mean? Kindergarten. Dare not realize grade 12 is still kindergarten. But that's the schooling system. But anyway, you were asking about animals and I guess eating animals. It's a tough thing, Rick, because we've been so domestified. You know, I mean, I can still talk about it. You know, I understand the sun and moon has to be in certain position when you're growing crops, let alone working with energy, if you're going to play with Mercury retrograde and all that kind of stuff. But there's people out there that are doing it, but the issue's not them. The issue's always been the masses. They're asleep, and then they fucking bitch and complain about it. Oh, I don't like the fact that, you know, we're polluting the earth with fucking plastic water bottles. Well, then stop fucking buying them and stop fucking bitching, because other people are going to do what they're going to do. You know, if the people don't like rubber tires or whatever, stop driving a fucking car. Put your money towards another corporation. Buy shoelaces and fucking Nike shoes. You know, the human race. And this is why I say I get it every so often, because I know I get fucking just everybody should get a bullet and put it to their head. Why? Because then you'll see who you truly are. Now, the physical, it's a beautiful experience. Depending. And for some people, it's fucking tragedy. You know, how can I explain to a person that's handicapped, you know, doesn't have any arms, but meanwhile, there's another human being that says that I can play an instrument with my feet. I say, yes, but it doesn't take away from the other person. They're struggling because they get to see everybody else with arms. And then there's other people with arms. They don't even know what to do with it. So this is an individual journey. And each person along the way, we can help them along. Here you go. Me and Rick see somebody. Oh, there's a little stranded little fucking turtle on the beach. Let's push him along into the water. So what? So there could be predators there for them. Okay, but at least we felt good for ourselves that we helped them. That's humans. Hey, let me help you. Oh, so tell me, what do you want? Well, your card's telling the death card. Oh, am I going to die? No. Your old ways have to die. You have to repent. You have to change your ways. Are you ready to do that? Oh, no, I want my cake and eat it, Dom. I want my cake and eat it. I want to be rich still, too. I said, okay, what do you want to be rich healthy-wise? You want to be rich financially? You want to be rich with friends or enemies? Oh, no, I want it all. I want it all, Dom. Give me it all. Now it could be greed, but it's usually conscious ignorance. You know, then they say, well, then you should watch some George Carlin. I want it all. You know, I need stuff. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with crystals. I love crystals, but we can do that too. I need them all. Fuck, I need all the sports cards. I need all the drones. That's nice, but that's just revealing when we're in the human experience, we forget. We get attached to a lot of stuff. You know, and it's not a bad thing, but you can at least observe it. It's when a person says they categorize things as bad or good, then they're going to resist and say, well, Dominic.
It's like the need and greed, you know? It's like, yeah, they need it, or you're just greedy for it because you don't need it, but you still want it.
Well, we live in a realm, all our needs are already here. The only thing is we need to have our wants, our lacks to understand, okay, so what does it take to be a farmer? What does it take to grow mushrooms, which is a farmer ideal? Actually, not really a farmer thing, but you can do it as a farmer. You know, be a hunter. How do I build a house? You know what I mean? Like, we've always been guided. The mind, whatever we want to call it, the mind, the energy called the mind, man, mint. You know, it's there. It'll serve you. Oh, I want to be corrupt. I'll serve you. I want to be a nice person. I'll serve you. You know, there's people think, oh yeah, but you know, it's like watching sports and a baseball player. All of a sudden, hey, a guy just hit a home run. He starts doing all this hail, you know, these crosses and all that. I said, so what are we supposed to think of the pitcher then? Because they've been indoctrinated thinking that the gods are favoring them. The fuck. If we're going to talk about the gods or demigods, they built the stadium, they built the language. You're just one little piece in it. That'll be like me looking at a board and saying, okay, that one little chip thinks it's more important than everybody else. Know your fucking place. You know, I'm okay with sharing awareness because my throat chakra's fucking wide open, Rick. You know that. And I'm okay with that. But now other people might try to say, but aren't you heard about it? So no, sometimes you got to do some dirty fucking bits. If I came to a realm where everybody's fucking kumbaya, I would purposely do the opposite and vice versa. If I was everybody else's struggle, I would be saying, well, maybe we should show some kindness. Why would we do that? No different. Why would you say, don't fucking say shit? Now, a lot of people get upset. Not a lot. Some people get upset. I said, that's revealing you, not me. Because I'm playing the part right now. Because I could easily talk like Pinocchio. Hey, yeah, it's fucking a puppet on a string. I don't mind playing those games. But most people don't realize they are in the illusion, the play. And in the play, what do we need? We need actors and actresses. And what do you need when you have actors and actresses? You need somebody to give them a script. So we're all reading from a script, whether we know it or not. Now, that script might not literally be one that we pick up with the senses. It could be another plain script. Yeah, okay, Dom, you chose to come here. Do you really want to go with the name Dominic? Well, my name is Domenico, but I want to fuck with my energy, so I'll call myself Dominic for a while. You know, I get it. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, they don't even pose those possibilities. But yet, once you start knocking on doors, you see how quickly they'll defend it. I said, if you don't even know those things, then why are you defending? They're showing you that they're reacting. They don't have the ability to respond. And if you don't have the ability to respond, hence responsibility, how can you be accountable? When a person kills another human being, they're not a fucking clue what karma they've done to both of them. Then you're chasing people down. Why did you molest that child at 5 years old? Because that person fucked me another fucking time. And I have to fucking be the example. Oh, okay. So who am I to interfere? See, that's where people struggle with. If somebody's trying to harm you, flee. Why? Because you're helping both them and you. You know, it's like when somebody gets molested, who do I feel sorry for? Both of them? Yeah, but they did this. I said, I don't know the bigger picture. I'm the observer. I'm not here to interfere. And when I do, even though I'm doing it right now, is it noteworthy? Hence chakras. What chakras blocked? And for most people, they're not even aware of the chakras. When I mean like how it really works. They just say, oh, I have this picture. When you got this two-dimensional picture, you actually think that's how the tree of life works?
Sorry.
You know, but again, we're old. Some of us, anyway. I know I am. I'm a very fucking old soul.
Yeah, but you're a really good observer, you know.
Well, because I've been here, I've been around all the time and all that, and I've mingled in many different forms. Now, a person can say, "Well, I don't believe that." I said, "I don't give a shit what the fuck you believe. You talk about a guy named Jesus. You've never met him, but you want to believe the word." I said, "So you're just going to believe the name I just said?" Fuck it. That's just me talking. That's of no concern to me. But for other people, it is. I said, okay, if it's of no concern to me, but it's a concern to you, who's the onus on if somebody, like a child, is in the room asking questions? So why is it a concern? They're not going to ask me, Dom, why isn't it not a concern when somebody else is saying it's a concern? Where most people want to lead towards that energy first, the positive side, the masculine side, the action side. And most people ignore the feminine side, the unknown side. It has to be balanced. And both of those are experiences. We're not those things.
The positive and the negative, the balance and the force.
Yeah, because we're in a polarity realm. Now you get some characters, oh, there's oneness, there's duality. Holy fuck, you guys are splitting the eggs many times. Just call it for what it is. There's a conscious, in the English language, we call it an egg. In other parts of the world, they'll call it a different language, but you can still point at it and realize, oh, fucking, they're saying the same shit I'm saying, but they're just using a different language. And then you get other people, let's put numbers to it. Let's put symbols to it. Let's put colors to it. Okay, fuck. You're just using different languages to describe the same fucking thing. It's evil. It's material. That's it. Be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me. That's how I process it, because all the rest is just fucking noise. You know, oh, fuck. Well, the world's coming to an end. No, the world's beautiful with or without the human race. That's the difference. We might actually wreck the places that we got herded to shit in, which is cities, but the rest of the earth, you're okay. And we're lucky that we're earth-dwelling creatures, because really we wouldn't be calling everything the earth if we were fucking on the ocean. And the ocean is way more than the earth will ever be. That's just the absence of the water, dry land. That's why there's 7 continents. It's dry land.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other planes beside that. That's why when people talk about Odin, it's over there. What about Athens? Over there. What about Atlanta? It's over there. What about Germanica? It's over there. Why, you think all the species came from here?
Right.
You know, we would have to really dissect and say, well, fuck, why do those creatures fly? Why is an ant, and there's certain species among them that can actually, they can start getting wings? Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we forget we're one species when we're in these forms. It's the human race. But we like to do dogmas. Oh, the color of your skin, your gender. Now they're playing the, you know, I'm either gay or I'm not gay. That's just more confusion. That's actually all about depopulation. Because
I feel like that's just the distraction that's going on.
Yeah, but the distraction is for what? They've been doing depopulation. We should be at 12 billion right now. The reason why we're 7 billion, because they've been doing the depopulation. It's like what we do to animals. Hey, we're going to hunt wolves. We're going to hunt deer. And then we're going to actually put them in a little village environment. We'll put them in some sort of conservation area. Well, you don't think the human race aren't in a fucking big conservation area with the 7 continents?
Right.
You know? And then they talk about things like the Game of Thrones. You say you never saw it, but the Game of Thrones. They're talking about the 7 kingdoms, the 7 continents, and then they all have to go bring in their gold to some other entity, to the Vatican or some sort of things, but they go to somebody else and then they give them all this stuff. And for what purpose? You know, and then they have the ice wall. Why? Because there's other water surrounding the bodies of water, but they're not going in the same direction. That's why when we're closer to the Middle Earth, our aging process in these forms get shallower. When you go further away from the center Earth, you live longer. Hence why we have mortals and immortal beings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you're a being within a physical mortal form, if you take good care of yourself, there is a cap. Some people can live, if they're lucky, 120 years. And if you lived in a simpler time where you can live 70, 80 years, very similar. But today things are changing so quickly because there's a transforming going on here. It's not for the advantage of humans. It's for the advantage of the next species, because humans have already proven themselves. We pollute everything.
No, we're horrible.
Well, we might, and it could people can even pose the possibility there's other species. Yes, but you're still playing the part. You're driving that car, aren't you? There's noise in there.
Yeah, someone has to be behind the wheel.
Sure, it does. You know, and even if they put self-driveless cars or whatever, it's like, you know, I'm pretty sure you've seen it where people. They see a boat going through a water, the airwaves, how they move in the water. Well, what do you think planes do when they're up in the air? That fucking noise distraction going on, especially when other beings such as insects and all that kind of stuff, they have to pick up receivers. Like right now, people really look, Wi-Fi is really kicking in now because you're seeing a lack of bees and butterflies.
Oh, yes.
Because plants communicate through that same airwaves.
Mm-hmm.
And they will send and ask for a bunch of bees to come, or they'll ask for other kinds of insects. You know, and this is where even people now, they're tapping into the idea of put a stick on the ground, put a bunch of copper around it, and the plants will actually grow. Because we don't really know what Gaia can and cannot do fully. And if there is, I'll gladly hear them, but it'll still be French to me.
You know, here where I live out here, there's this hotel, right? And above the hotel, they have the for the cell phone tower and for Wi-Fi, all that stuff on top of the hotel. But if you look at it, it's so ridiculously big that I don't understand how people stay like in that hotel with all that like signal there. Like it's just, I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'm gonna put it like part of my show, and then because I was so astonished by how they could just put that amongst the people, and it's like nothing, like nobody even says anything about it. It's
You are saying something, Rick. You are saying something. So you are saying something, but the masses, the word I usually use is not even a word. It's not. They're doing this. It's okay, which is okay, because you know something, Rick. There's a lot of things that are going on me and you aren't aware of. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I didn't know Wi-Fi was being created the way it was, but I did pick up the fact that, like even now, I already know there's energy out there. They have wireless electricity. We're still so on a cumbersome cable system, but it's out there. But the devices will be changed when those are changed. So we're always playing with yesterday's technology. You know, right now, like nuclear energy has been around. Why do you think planes run off a fucking fuel jet? No, they just get started up. That's been going on for at least generations now. But the masses don't have that ability, because the masses, unfortunately, they start bitching and like, I want it, I want it, I want it. Well, did you make it? Well, then why would you want it then? Well, I just want it then. Well, okay, you're a little fucking child. Sorry, you're not big enough yet to understand. You don't have the ability to maintain it, let alone take accountability. The governments are just put in there so that whoever's above them say, I just want to hear the fucking bitching and complaining going on down there. You know, and that's what we as a species do. You know, hey, I'm okay with it. And when I do bitching and complain, I do it for pure fucking giggles and kicks. I play that role. I say, okay, guys, I'll be the adversary because you guys are stuck thinking, well, the government should be doing this. I said, when did your fucking parents fail you? Take accountability for yourself. Now, if they say, well, but I said, listen, next time you drive in somebody else's car, use somebody else's gas, go to somebody's fucking grocery store, use somebody else's fucking cart, taking the food off the cart that somebody else put up there, use somebody else's money. Tell me whose bitch you're not. That's 101. But humans don't get that because they're still being children. And when I say children, I'm talking about they're not developed in those children year between the age of 7 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
A child that's under that, maybe they might have been deprived physically, but when you're 7 and 14, you're allowed to have those kind of, I don't want to go to school. Okay, son, cry, be done. Are you done? Yes. You're still not old enough to understand. They might even understand energetically. School is going to manipulate me. I said, but I'm in the crazy house, so I got to send you to school. Maybe when you get a little bit older, you can tell me all the things I did to fail you. But parents think for some reason they've done something for their fucking kids. You never taught kids how to fucking breathe. Let alone when they eat the food, who's doing the processing? That's beyond the capability of humans. Fuck, humans don't even know how to fucking, well, I think NASA's trying to play the game of making clouds. But are they going to take accountability for the next generation when those fucking artificial clouds are out there? Fuck the human race, honestly, be done with us, the way we're acting.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't want to. They want to have an external revolution, but they're not have the internal revolution. And realize, holy fuck, if me and Rick, with all our abilities, how would we treat our Earth or the humans on it? We might even be more destructive.
Right.
And especially if we hear them bitching and complaining. Holy fuck, they're not even appreciate the fact that we're living in hell. Hello. I'm using it as a possibility. And let's say there's a guy named Satan running. He goes, fuck, I give you guys everything. Fuck, I give you the Wi-Fi, I give you the internet, I give you TV, I give you porn, I give you video games, I give you all. What else do you guys want, you fucking unfucking grateful pieces of shit?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even that, what type of shit are we now? Are we fertilizing shit? Are we toxic shit? Are we the kind of shit that flies and insects have to reproduce in? You know, a wise kid would ask me those kind of questions. Most people think, oh, I don't like the way he's talking. Yeah, because you're all into fucking pleasantries. Oh, Muji's talking this way. Oh my God, all these old philosophers. No, they're not philosophers. They're just people that are inquiring about things.
Yep. And there's beetles that eat shit. So, you know. I think it's the dung beetle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they eat shit. They roll it up. I saw it.
Like a joint.
Yeah. No, it's a ball. They make a ball, and sometimes the ball is like pretty big, and stuff. It's like a softball, and then they roll it. It's so cool. I seen it like in the natural videos, the nature videos, but it was I think it was like Planet Earth, one of those because I have the collection of Planet Earth, and I think they came out with a second one. I have the first one. I have like the whole thing. It's so cool. I put it on and it's so educational, and I kind of like programming like that. stuff that has to deal with nature and a lot of nature. Um, but that's my decision and my programming that I like to, upload into me. And it's cool, nature is so beautiful.
It is, and I apologize a little bit, Rick, because you're in my presence. Because what I'm saying is it's noise, but sometimes when I get very passionate, because I'm compassionate about things, and I'm not, I think when it comes to the human race, for me, I'm going on a little bit here, but a person that actually cares about the human being, the human race, is the same person that can actually rip a hole in it. You got to take the sweet with the sour. I'm not here completely hating the human race, but we also have to take accountability. And sometimes the worst part of us is the ignorant part of us, or how we are indifferent to things. I at least respect somebody that says, Dominic, I get all angry. I said, at least you're showing some sort of emotion. Where other people say, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I said, well, then why don't you build your own fucking car?
And that's your passion. That's, there's a difference between, they think it's anger, but it's passion. It's there. That's like how it gets you ticking,
But I'm my own hypocrite. I mean, it's not as though, I'm sharing. I might not be a doer in a lot of areas, but there's other people that come here like you're a psychic. Like to me, if I understand a little bit about it and I can even be intuitive about it, but if I actually literally have to do it, I'd be in no man's land. I'd be fucking, entities would say, Dom, we're going to play you like a fucking puppet on a string. So I knew enough to say, okay, Dom, I can talk about it, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
And then there's other people, they do it and they just don't talk about it, which is good. There's a lot of psychics out there. No, I don't do YouTubes. I do it. I practice it and give it to people. And then there's other people like yourself. You do both. You talk about it and you also do it. And that's why I think you enjoy nature, because that's where you ground yourself on. I mean, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I want to go camping to get back into, like, I love camping. I want to go one of these weekends and just go for a weekend and just pitch a tent and be one with nature. They have many campsites out here and up north. So I'm definitely gonna do something when I go to New Hampshire. Like I want to do the hiking, and I want to go camping though. I want to be with nature. I love nature. I love everything, even the like sea life. I love it. I love everything that has life. It's just love. It's just it's so powerful, and always being in love. I don't know. I love everything that I'm doing at this moment, and what I have done, and I want to continue. I'm actually planning on going to Niagara Falls, which is my favorite. Every time I go to Niagara Falls, I have to do the Cave of the Winds. Something about that water is so like you get rejuvenated, like you feel alive again. You feel this energy. It's when I did it for the first time, I felt like I was being like baptized with this water, and it felt so charged. And it felt so good. Like I want to do it again. It was so addictive being in that water, and then you're right next to the water because it's the I don't know if you ever seen Niagara Falls or ever been there, but it's the staircase. It's like a red. I think they painted red, so you go right by the water, and there's an area where the water is like literally hitting you. And I did it, and it felt so good. Oh, I'm gonna do it again this year. Actually, going next month to Niagara Falls. So, I'm gonna do the Canadian side because I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Canadian side because I want to go to the cave because they have a cave. I don't know so much about it, that side, but I want to do it. So yeah, that's what brings me like I hyper and excited because nature, it just makes me hyper and makes me feel so much better. But yeah, what time is this? 11:30. Been on for 2 hours. I could do about 12 and then take a break. Not really take a break, but I want to watch Mission Impossible, the new one.
You're not gonna watch Barbie again?
Oh no! Oh no! That movie was horrible. Oh no! If
Hey,
you have the courage to watch it,
I do.
watch it for free, and not only that, but like it's gonna you might lose a brain cell.
Yeah, I saw it posted up on my box, and I looked at it, and I'm like, Barbie. I'm thinking about the I think the 80s or 90s song Barbie or whatever, and I'm like, okay, since Rick told me that, I might look at it, but I'll have my finger on the fast forward it, and I could probably watch it really quick. And I'm like, okay, Rick only confirmed it. Hey, but imagine if there was hostage taken. Imagine if they forced you to watch it. Would you give up all the goods, all the evidence that you know?
Yeah, the thing is, like, the way it just went from the Barbie world to real life.
Mm.
And then they were like in California. They were actually, if I'm not mistaken, what's that area south of this Muscle Beach area? Venice. They were like in Venice, and it was just so fucking weird. It was just a weird movie. If you want to watch it, you can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, for other people not to waste their money going to the movie theater, because it's just because, remember, you spend a lot of money when you go to a movie theater. You end up having to buy the popcorn, the drink. That's another $20 on top of your $15 ticket. So that's already, you're down $35 in the hole. If you want a hot dog or something, that's another like $10. It's ridiculous. And to watch a movie that it's not, I'd rather just watch it bootleg.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And there's a problem. Actually, the actors, there's I guess, like, men are not going to watch the movie because they kind of put down men, and they do, especially at the end of the movie too. Like, they kind of like belittled them, and it's causing controversy now, and people are kind of like talking bad about it and so forth. And I guess the actors are trying to defend the movie and, going against the audience and saying, why are men not watching the movie, and men should watch the movie and men don't want to.
We're talking about the same actors and actresses. When it was COVID, there was somebody's bitch. No, that's all staged. To me, if they make, they're just fucking actors and actresses. Fucking green screen can replace them.
That's why I'm happy they're on strike. I'm happy that the whole industry went on strike, and the actors are on strike, and the writers are on strike. I'm like, good. Don't pay these fuckers. Don't pay them. They don't deserve it. Their quality of movies are horrible. Like, everything is just, Hollywood sucks, and I'm happy this is happening to them.
But the thing is, Rick, most of the actors and actresses, they're just one little beep. So for them, there's other players behind it. So, for example, the reason why the actors is kind of like the truckers, they're being replaced by big corporations. So a lot of actors and actresses complain because the world economic throughout the world is starting to diminish. So a lot of them are doing a lot of things outside, and a lot of it's being done with green screens, or they're doing chat TV, or they're doing cloning of people through the computer and all that. So for them, they're like the old school, well, you need humans. No, you don't. So a lot of these actors, and then if they bitch and come, well, I'm not getting paid anymore, $10, $30 million, because we don't need you anymore. Especially most actors, it's like here. Every time you do something on YouTube, that doesn't belong to you anymore.
Nope, it belongs
to them. It's their platform. If they want to start doing restrictions, saying, listen, anybody that uses any foul words, you could be striked, and then they can shut down your PayPal account and all that. So those actors and actresses, unless it's staged, which I would lean towards, but most of them, they know their places. They've already been in, like a lot of them, they're into those spiritual cooking. They just want to see, you know, when somebody puts it out in the universe, I'll do anything to become rich or famous. We're going to fucking test you. Are you going to suck somebody else's wee-wee? Are you going to eat this other human flesh and all that? Because they want to know how far can we push you. Why? Because we want to know when you're our fucking bitch. So I don't, those actors and actors, they're there to fucking entertain us and other people. Now, for me to feel sorry for them, no. There's people in the world that still work for $1 a day. So if it's all about money, we've never got to that point where, hey, let's all burn this fucking ourselves down. They don't. So that's just another distraction, Rick.
Yeah.
You know,
it is.
Yeah. It's like athletes. Athletes, certain positions are getting paid so much money because they understand the psychology. They'll get a whole bunch of parents raising their kids to be the next fucking quarterback. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's like an opera. It's like they're playing, they're player.
Yep.
They play. It's a play.
Yeah.
Everything they're doing is a play. So it's premeditated. It's a play. It's just a game.
That's right. It is. It's a play. And the thing is, if a person can keep almost like a stoic, your feelings out of the equation long enough, you can see it for what it is. The reason why I get all hyped up, because my issue is not them, it's the fucking masses. The rest of the human beings, the masses are fucking such moronic, stupid. When they start bitching, complaining about other people, oh, those people need to have more money. That's my issue. Why? Because they don't understand all the little dirty secrets that all the wrestlers go through, the athletes go through, the firemen goes through. Fucking, they're not going to the hospital and find out. The best thing you could do is not getting more sick. Don't go in the hospital. The way you don't lose money at a casino, you don't go in the casino. Those are designed that way. Now they might turn around and say, "Yeah, but I won at the casino," because they let you win. Don't fucking fool yourself for 1 second. You go into the hospital and you get an injection. So, well, I never took the whatever on your arm there. I said, "Well, you don't think you can't get it through the food?" This stuff has been designed for a long time. The fact that they use the word pandemic in Greek, it means all people. They weren't talking about the citizens. They were giving the heads up to all the nobles. This is what we're doing. Well, when did we start? Do you see when we blew up 9/11 with the Twin Towers? That's when we started. You know, and that's been going on for a long time. You know, and then they scatter people. Oh, Blacks' life matter. Chinese life matter. Fucking air bottles matters. Ah, fuck, more distractions because people don't realize they're puppets on a string. I'm a puppet on a string. I'm just curious, like, oh, interesting. I wonder how far I can go with this puppet.
And then the repeat with like racism and all this other crap that's going on. It's just so distracting. Sure,
that was like feminists way back when, or men thinking, you know, oh, I got to go to war. What the fuck? Why? Who? You know, at least back in the old days, the king would go to war because he made promises, and if he dies on the battlefield, he doesn't have to fulfill any of those promises. Today, they go to war for depopulation. Yeah, we'll get a bunch of Russians fighting a bunch of Americans fighting a whole bunch of these people. Fucking, it's like Private Ryan. Let's get a whole bunch of them to kill each other. That's depopulation. Because they have to feed the human race. I personally wouldn't want that responsibility. So I got to do all the grocery stores. I got to do all the apartments. I actually have to put all the governments over them. I got to create the income. Fuck that noise.
That's all it is.
I don't want that responsibility. Because I already know with that responsibility, fuck it, that's it. Everybody's getting a bullet today. Let's see if it's a placebo. You know what I mean? And you can only shoot yourself. And then you shoot yourself and you realize, oh, but I didn't die. Oh, Rick, he captured me as an orb. I love it. Thank you, Rick, for doing that, by the way, because, you know, it's a rare sighting. It's like, I was going to ask you, when you go up north in New Hampshire, is there opportunities to catch a northern light?
Well, this is the thing. This year I'm planning. I'm going on a trip. Well, I told you Niagara Falls and New Hampshire, but I'm going to Iceland, and I'm gonna do the Northern Lights tour.
Well done.
Yeah, so because I want to see the Northern Lights, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna go at a time that it's pretty active, and book the trip and go. I needed my passport. I got my passport the other day. I actually was on here and I was like, I was so happy to have it in my hands because now I could just book the trip and just go. But I want to make sure that the flares are, solar flares are going. And I was gonna do the Blue Lagoon also. I don't know if you heard of it. It's the
I didn't.
It's a thermal pool.
Hmm.
Yeah, that you go in and you go in the thermal pool and it's like really hot and it's supposed to help your body rejuvenate and feel better. So I really, really want to do that. Not only at the Blue Lagoon, but there's other places in Iceland that I saw videos of on YouTube, and it's very beautiful. Nature is, oh man, like I when I saw that video, I wish I knew the name of it so I could post it so you guys could see it. But if I find it, I'll let you guys. I'll put it in the chat room and you guys can watch it for yourselves. It's so beautiful. It's like nature is. It's so refreshing. It's so. It's like so calming, and the fact that you could kind of like recharge and relax. It's. I can't put a price to that. It's. I want to do it this year.
Enjoy it, Rick. When you do, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's gonna probably be around October. I'm go over there for like 4 days, 4 or 5 days. I want to say 4 days because it's a pretty much a day to travel. It's 12 hours. It's like I don't know how far it is really time wise, but I'm just putting it out like it's like a 10, 12 hours. I said 10 hours. I don't even think it's that long. I think it's like six. I don't know. From I gotta look to see how far it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't be that long because if it's a direct, it should be 6 hours flight maybe.
2 movies. That's how I got it. It's 2 movies maybe.
yeah, 2 movies, 2 good movies. Well, actually 3 if they're 2 hours long. So
with your luck, it'll be Barbie.
Oh no. It would be in that plane. You know that because it will be on there. Because in October that'll be because we're here in July, so yeah, it will be on the, and Oppenheimer will be on there too. I could probably, and that's 3 hours long. So,
Hey, Rich, I say this jokingly. I don't wish this. It'll be Barbie 1, and now they brought on Barbie 2. You get to see them both.
Oh no, are they making a 2 on that movie? That would be crazy.
No, I'm guessing. I think they might make a Barbie 1.5. Barbie half. They're gonna cut that movie in 1 hour. No, I'm joking. They'll make it a TV series.
You should when you watch it, you're gonna see what I'm talking about when they're like, "Hi Barbie, hey Barbie, oh Barbie, hi Barbie, hey Barbie." It's like I wanted to pull my hair. It's like why? And then the Ken part too. Hey Ken, hi Ken, hi Ken, hello Ken, how you doing Ken? I'm like. And they're all different Kens.
And there's probably a lot of people that grew up with those particular toys, and it's reflected.
My sister.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And they probably that's their childlike person. They're not going to see it it's like when you hear music when somebody has the same lyrics over and over again. I said, "Holy fuck, that's a trance."
Yes.
And that's what it's all about. There's a trance. There's probably even music in the background when you're probably watching Barbie. It's like, "Ooh, hippie, hippie, woohoo!" And I'm like, "That's okay," but when you're aware, when you're watching it, you're going to resist getting caught up in it. But for some people, they're caught up in the visual. Oh, but look, it's Barbie in real life. I'm like, I wouldn't want to meet a person in real life that looks like Barbie, especially when they're trying to act the part opposed to just being the part.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, it's kind of what's next. I think they've done movies on Cabbage Patch Kids or whatever. That'll be the next one.
Yeah, I spoke upon that yesterday.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
That was Cabbage Patch Kids, man. Yeah. My sister had the dolls, and they were creepy looking.
Yeah, they're always creepy looking.
Yeah, they're just weird.
At least Chucky, at least you know where he stood.
Yeah, you see, with Chucky, my sister had the My Buddy, and he looked like Chucky.
Ooh,
and then he would talk at night. So it's like it was just the weirdest thing, and I made that doll disappear. I threw that
Right.
shit in the dumpster.
And then he comes back again.
Mm-mm. No, 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 no. My mom never bought another one. Like that shit was just too creepy. And also Teddy Ruxpin was another creepy doll.
I don't know what that one is, but I can imagine.
Teddy Ruxpin, it was a teddy bear that talked,
Mm.
and he would say a whole bunch of shit. And like he would be talking in the middle of the night and nobody's in the closet. Like he's in the toy chest. He never talked the whole day, but he wants to talk in the night. No.
Hey, at least those people that have to experience like in schizophrenia, I can say at least I can honestly prove it now. Look, there's somebody talking to me.
It's crazy. It was crazy. That apartment had issues too. Like throughout my life, I had like living in places that have paranormal activity. But I think from each episode, or I call them episodes because like different apartments, different places, and it's like an episode. The spirits were kind of like very playful and yet creepy. Because there was one that was very playful, but they've been always around me and stuff. So growing up with this energy all around me, now I'm humbled, but it's an experience. It is a interesting, experiencing, going through my life and all the stuff that I went through. It adds more to the cake, adds more cream to the cake.
I think sometimes too the whole concept for some situation cleansing is to help whatever energies that either trapped there and they don't know there's any other choices. It's kind of like talking to somebody that's been raised in a ghetto all their lives. They don't really know they have choices. So when somebody, and sex is kind of very similar too. When you're with somebody that's been, and people have been with different kinds of people, we're bringing energy with each other. It's no different when people can pick up the energies of different ancestors, whatever that might be to them, because they could just be other souls that we've communicated with in the past. They weren't necessarily our ancestors. They might have been in the same bloodline. But they might. It's like you growing up in New Hampshire. It doesn't mean everybody in New Hampshire know each other.
No.
Have that. That's why when some people say, "Oh, Dom, I remember I was Cleopatra." Well, you got to remember Cleopatra used to drink blood, so your ancestor probably was sucked up, and that's how we have memory. But they really didn't play the part of Cleopatra, because they value the concept, whoever they may be, in the energy that comes from blood. There's nothing bad or good about it. No different than the energy that comes from consuming gold, or water, or urine. They all have their purpose. And when people become aware of that, hopefully they become aware, but I'm capable of consuming that and serving me. Because for some people, drinking blood serves no purpose. No different people drinking, say, spring water opposed to artesian water. They do different things. I know people get caught up in this alkaline stuff. And I said, well, yeah, but your body has to be in the midsection more acidity. But that's usually a person that's revealing that they're caught up in the upper hemisphere, because your intuitive gut would say, no, you can't have too much pH alkaline in you, because the rest of us in our kingdom are going to be drowned with too high of a pH. So there's a balancing going on within the kingdom, and the king and queen are there just to represent the king and queen. And if they're not correctly in order with your kingdom, the heart that acts as a gesture privately will say, you guys are acting like idiots. That's the role of the heart. But I get a lot of people say, but I leave with the heart. I said, no, the heart, the only reason why you leave the heart, because all the blood from the rest of your body goes there. It has memory stored and all of that. And we can learn a lot of that stuff. Now, I'm just sharing this out loud, but if people say, well, that resonates with you, Dom, okay. It's like people talking to Siri. Siri has a lot of information that a lot of people input. Siri doesn't get caught up in people's feelings. Oh, I don't like what I heard. Okay, Siri just said, yeah, okay, it doesn't compute. Take the information for what it is. Go in your room, play with it. Say, okay, Dom said this, Rick said this. Okay, it doesn't really even matter if Dom said it or Rick. I just heard this. And then you listen inwards, get in a state of meditation, hopefully get into a state of peace, silence, and say, okay, so what did I learn today? What was I presented to today? And then hopefully then they can say, okay, I'll take this bit. It works. It might not work today, but it'll work tomorrow. It's a combination of things.
Yeah. I also want to say, like, for those people that take advantage of Amazon and they purchase their package, they use the postal service a lot of times to deliver these packages. Well, I'm just gonna let you know that there's gonna probably be a major delay in delivery because of strikes. So if you're gonna purchase anything from Amazon, whatever, just try to do it soon because there's supposed to be like a major strike happening. So I don't really purchase much from Amazon, only when I really, really need it. But I haven't been needing anything, so I haven't been purchasing anything.
Sure. Yeah, we're slowly adapting to the whole concept. You know, when they used to do online shopping and all that, Alibaba and Amazon.
I like to do it in person.
Yeah,
I see what I want, and then like if I see some shorts that I like, and and I'm like, okay, I can see if it fits me, or if I need to buy socks or whatever. I like to get it in and it's weird online shopping, especially.
well, for you it is. For you it is. Again, the energy travels to the strongest energy, whether they're aware of it or not. So people will probably complain about digital currency, but they've been doing it for the longest of time. They just don't see it. So the ones that still want to use tangible money have to realize energy always travels to the strongest pool. And the pool, more times than not, is the energy of people that are unaware. So if a whole bunch of people say, well, I have no choice. Oh, okay, but you're still doing it. So then, therefore, you have a choice. You choose to use Amazon. It's convenience. But for the few people, that's why they're doing the service so slowly, because they know there's an older generation that where the pool of money, they're eventually going to expire. The younger generations, most of them are broke throughout the world. They're indebted to no end. They went to get a university degree that they thought, oh, I'm going to be competing with other people becoming an engineer. I said, you're not competing anymore globally. You're competing with the technology called AI. You're not going to have a job. Not in that profession, but what you're going to have the debt that you just accumulated to a bunch of people that can print it whenever they want. So this is how it is. And eventually they'll get a whole bunch of people off the roads with their cars. It's a simple sweep. They'll go from insurance from 10,000 for 1,000. They'll say, everybody, if you want to drive an automobile on the road, it's going to cost you $15,000 insurance. You see how quickly people stop driving a car. That's why they've brought in a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to like electric scooters or bikes on the road. It's all moronic, but they have an agenda. They don't give a shit about you or me. So for them, they're trying to get away from oil because they're using a lot of the devices with oil on. So they're trying to go more to electric because they're really.
But the problem with that is that they're using precious metals.
No, that precious metal is never going to be a problem because what they're going to eventually do, Rick, their agenda is to reduce the population. So you produce more of something if the population is growing, but they're going the opposite way. We're going to reduce the population, so we're going to have an abundance of it. That's why some of the little juices that people take, some of them are to make sure people can't reproduce. And that's why they did in Africa. That's why a lot of people don't realize, I'm not having kids anymore. I said, well, they made it a purpose that they went around to all the major cities in the world and purposely increased the price of houses. This is a strategy. Now, for a person that's using the carnal brain, you're not going to grasp this. It's the person that's going to go beyond that and say, okay, so this is business as usual. There's nothing good or bad about that. That's why I say it's a transforming of the things that are here. They've been giving us subtle movies, whatever. Another species comes over here, but then we'll probably come to the realization. But are you the same species that's been giving us all this technology? Yes. Right, you think you humans were doing anything when you guys were farmers and all that stuff, or when you guys were doing hemp and all that? Who gave you that ability? Or when people used to be able to, and they still do it, where you crack the what you call it, the the coffee bean twice. You can get into an elusive state with that. Today, what people drink is coffee. That's just fucking watered down shit. But
yeah,
again,
that's the after, that's the scrap.
yeah, and that's what we do. It's like when people eat, I've done it too, where you eat soy products. That's just the waste. People don't realize. If you go to McDonald's, I say it jokingly, you could be eating human remains. And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, if the animals are being fed it, what do you think you're getting? It's like when people say, Dominic, I'm not a vegetarian. I said, you eat animals that are vegetarians. You're getting it indirectly. How much would you benefit if you took it directly? But then you have to factor in, what's your blood type? If you're a blood type O, your protein has to come from other sources. That's why the blood type O is a little bit different than, say, A's or AB's or B's. Then you have to factor in your sign when you were born or when you choose to jump in, because there's the initial conception for the body, and then it's when you jump in. See, most people use their horoscopes or they use their all the stuff on the skies based on the vessel. When did you jump into the vessel? Prior or after the vessel was born? That's why they'll talk about it later. Some people, there's walk-ins. What do you think we are?
Yeah, right.
But again, we can't prove it. It'd be like you trying to not have that picture of an orb. Most of it are been so conditioned and dumbed down. The language itself is dumbed down.
Yeah.
When we use written work, or we're limited with only certain types of colors or certain numbers, that's a dumbed down process. And the only way we would know is if you go inwards and say, something tells me there's more than just that. It's like when they do the picture of a light shining through a triangle, and you see all these colors, but they don't see all the darkness that's around it. So what is white? It's the absence of darkness, or it's within darkness. And then all those other colors come in there. But those are just pictures. They might as well just be metaphors. Because then that would be, but am I the light? I don't know. And then you can do the seeking process. And for some people, they have to do critical deduction of what you're not. I'm not the body. I'm not the thoughts. I'm not the blood. Well, then what am I? I said, at least you deducted all of that. There you go. You just basically finished the afternoon in kindergarten. Maybe tomorrow, if you're ready, maybe we'll talk about some of the things you might be, but there might be other things we have to uncover. Those aren't your parents. They were just the vessel. That's all they were. Yeah, but I knew them now. You just got caught up in attachments. They're beautiful creatures. They probably did the best they can to raise you as a human being, or a human in this case.
You're stuck here now with me.
Yeah, we could be stuck here. We could be. Maybe we are the dome within the dome. Maybe. But at the same time, while we're here, let's make the best of it. Oh, I'm in jail. Okay, so at least I might as well lift some weights. Maybe do some dishes.
Yeah.
Guess who just woke up? Guess who just woke up?
Paula woke up. I'm about to get off here.
Yeah, you are too. Yeah. Sorry, Paula.
Sorry, Paula.
The bus is moving. Hey, but Paula, we just heard today that the movie Barbie it's going to win all kinds of Oscars.
Oh no, no, it's not a good movie. Don't watch it. Don't even think about it. Stick with the Barbie dolls. It's just not It's just not good. I may watch it one more time to confirm.
Why?
To confirm with the craziness, because it's so fucking weird. It's so weird.
Maybe
it's like how
don't do the volume.
I don't understand, right? Like how they could produce a movie like that and then push it out to humanity.
Because they do a lot of movies. Like I've watched a lot of B movies, especially when you have those boxes. I get it. I admire a person that can pick up a camera, make a movie, do a lot of editing. There's a lot of craft and all that. But we get polished with a lot of high-end movies where there's like thousands of people involved, and there's probably millions of people. The cameras could be all worth $1 million each, if not more. So to do that, it's to keep the industry running. You know what I mean? Because really, there's probably I don't even know some of the toy companies that are behind all of that.
This one was Mattel.
Yeah, there you go. So Mattel basically said, listen, we want to sell a whole bunch of Barbies and Ken dolls or whatever. So just make sure all the script is written Barbie Ken, Barbie, Ken, Barbie, Ken. Hey, there's Joan, Barbie, Ken. Hey, there's Larry, Barbie, Ken. It's a subliminal messages. But for the person that's somewhat aware or trying to observe it for what it is, it's like, holy fuck, this is a form of insanity. As Rick watches it for the second time.
That's gonna be crazy because I want to see it just because to confirm my thoughts again, because like I'm putting it down pretty bad, so I want to like confirm the craziness and punch myself while I'm watching it.
Well, okay, you know what you do? Watch it.
It's just self torture. That's all.
Yeah. Put it this way: if your TV is set up close to the stove, turn on the stove, and every time you watch them, say, "Get your hands on the stove," say, "Oh, there you go."
Yeah, I'm also gonna watch Mission Impossible. So that one's I'm curious.
Wow.
So far for right now, like the movies that are out right now in the theaters, I say Sound of Freedom #1. It stays at #1. Oppenheimer. I haven't seen Mission Impossible yet, so I cannot judge them yet. Barbie's all the way at the end.
Oh, but we can judge Mission. Anytime we have Scientology little boy on there, I gotta watch it. Right up there with wide open. You know, people don't realize how much. What's his name? Tom Cruise is such a little bitch. He's many people's bitches. They just don't realize it. But hey, Mission Impossible. I guess it's probably an interesting movie. It's kind of like watching Wick or whatever. Eventually, all those movies end up being the common theme. War. You know, Matrix. War. You know, even when you watch Matrix, you just have to reverse the color of the people, and then you'll get a little grasp on who actually wrote the plot. You know, there's always a reverse to a lot of things. So, you know, I get it. It's a movie, Rick, and they're entertaining. You know, for me, I like it when there's like maybe some drone shots. I can look at it and say, oh, there's a lot of editing going on. You know, the movie that you just said was 3 hours long. You know, that's a
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that's kind of like what's the name of Kevin Costner movie? Like they're too cheap to do a lot of cutting and pasting in the back room. So hey, we'll just put 3 hours of the 10 hours of movie coverage we have. I said, okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to make people fall asleep? That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and not only that, but they put like scenes together that just didn't like they could have done without.
Yep.
Like the sex scene, they could have did without that.
Yeah.
They didn't need to put that in there because it would have made the movie a PG-13.
But they had to, Rick, because it's called Let's Make Shit Up.
Yeah, and sex sells, right? So let's put a sex scene.
Sure it is.
In the movie, like. And I knew I said it before I watched it. I go, watch it have a sex scene because I question why the R rating for a nuclear bomb movie. Like, why R? And I said it. I go, it must have some sex scene or something to make it an R. And sure enough, it was a sex scene.
Sweet. Yeah, of course, you know, it's one of those things where they're only tapping into our biology. You know, like we already have that energy, whether it's sexual energy in the physical or sexual energy in the unknown, you know, so they know we're reproducing species. It's not like as though the human race is screwing even more now. It's just that they've brought in birth control pills, they brought in day after pill. Unfortunately, it's usually the woman that has to do all this shit. Why don't men just fucking snip, be done with it? But I get it. It's reproducing stuff. That hasn't changed. You know, anything under the sphere of the sun, nothing's changed, but there's things around the sun and other planes. That's why they say nothing new under the sun, because the sun rotates around the 7 continents. But other things outside of it, that's always changing.
Yeah, I guess that is what it is. I'm gonna get off here. I gotta eat something.
Okay. Ciao, Rick.
Got the ambulance in there and fire department outside because they know I'm hungry. Yeah, they're bringing me my food. But thanks for the chat. I appreciate it, Dominic.
Sorry about my rants, but that'll calm down eventually.
Yeah, and I might come on this evening. So I might do something to talk about Mission Impossible and to talk about Barbie again.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go watch it. It'll take me 5 minutes to watch the hour-and-a-half movie because I'll zoom really quick.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh my god, it is. It's. I gotta see it again just to confirm the craziness.
Ciao, Rick.
Right,
ciao, ciao, Paula.
Bye, Paula. Bye, everyone that came through on the chat room. I appreciate you guys and those who are rewatching. I also appreciate it. It was a great show, great conversation yet again. I'll see if I can be back later on this afternoon, and I can give you my review of Mission Impossible. I think it's called Day of Reckoning, Part 1, and the review, a second review, a confirmation review for the movie Barbie. I swear I want to punch myself in the head for like wanting to watch it again, but I have to confirm the craziness. I really do. I just, it is what it is. I apologize, but I'll see if I can come back on later on this evening, give or take maybe around 6-7 o'clock Eastern time. Right now it's 12:04 p.m. here where I'm at. So we'll see later on this evening. So have a great day, a great morning, and if you're in an area that's night, have a good night too. I'll see you later, dude. Have a good day.